up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero. There's an African legend that says, in a race between a lion and a deer, many times the deer wins. Because the lion runs for food, but the deer runs for life. The moral of the story is this: purpose is more powerful than need. When your why is as strong as your need to breathe, nothing can outrun your will.
So one of my favorite stories is in a mother's womb where two babies, and one turns to the other and says, "Do you believe in life after delivery?" And the other replies, "Why, of course, there has to be something after delivery. Maybe we're here to prepare ourselves for what will be later." "Nonsense," said the first. "There's no life after delivery. What kind of life would that be?" "I don't know," said the second, "but there'll be more light than here. Maybe we'll walk with our legs and eat with our mouths. Maybe we'll have other senses we can't understand now." First goes, "That's ridiculous. Walking is impossible, and eating with our mouths, that's absurd. The umbilical cord is what scientifically supplies nutrition and all that we need, but it's far too short. Life after delivery is to be logically excluded." And the second says, "What if it's just different than it is here? Maybe we don't need that physical cord anymore." The first goes, "Okay, if there were life after delivery, then tell me, why has no one ever come back from there? Delivery is the end of life, and in the after delivery is nothing but darkness and silence and oblivion. It takes us nowhere." And the second says, "But certainly we'll meet Mother, and she'll take care of us." The first goes, Mother? You actually believe in Mother? If Mother exists, where is she now? And the second goes, she's all around us. We are of her. It is in her that we live. Without her, this world would not and could not exist. And the first says, I don't see her. It's only logical that she's not here. To which the second replied, sometimes, when you're in silence and you really listen, you can perceive her presence. You can hear her loving voice calling down from above.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no swear. Stop! Don't touch.
Oh, look at there. I flashed in and flashed out real quick. Welcome to Sob's Place, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, fellow truthers, miscreants, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you identify as out there? Good for you. We're happy that you're all here. I've got 3 great legends in the backstage right now. We're going to bring them up in just a second here. I've got in the chat right now. We got Brad and Tasha joining us here. Edwin Johnson. Got Chicago Cubby Bear. He's backstage as well. We've got, let's see, who do we got? Edwin Johnson. Saddle Bums here with us. Spyro Graffiti. Gordzilla. Mojo Shop. What's happening, Mojo? Let me get on up here. So many people. Boy, you're chatomaniacs. DeJour Vision. Malone and Sloan. Is that both of you or just one? We'll find out. We've got some duo teams that are in here tonight. And many, many others. Look at all these wonderful people in here tonight. We've got 51 watching right now. That's just fantastic. And without further ado, we're going to bring up the D-Man, the Chad, and of course, Janusz. What is happening, everybody?
Thank you for having me. We just finished stream on the Flash channel. We were still destroying the Globers. Man, it was great. I love it. I'm telling you, man.
Or Wesley, huh?
Oh man, Wesley's. I call him Weasel.
He's funny as hell.
Man, it was awesome. I have to ask Flat to leave the stream running, because I could literally bash them as much as I wanted, because usually when I'm on the stream, I don't read the chat. But now I had the opportunity to do it. Man, right. I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. Hard to keep up with in the conversation, and watching the chat all at the same time. It's even more difficult for myself because I'm actually working, 2 monitors and sharing screens and watching the chat and talking to the people in here. And oh man, it's
we are not very good in the multitasking. Women are much better than us in multitasking. We are not designed this way.
I'm getting there. I kind of pride myself on my amateurishness. Because of the fact
you're doing well. You're doing well.
Producer, director, and host.
That's it. And talent. Well, that too. I'm the face in it.
It's the super friends.
And on top of it, the most important, the truth.
Yeah. I mean, and that we got right to the bottom of that right there with that discussion with Wesley today, if you could actually call it a discussion. It comes right down to that. Where are you getting this energy? And then he said, you're bending space-time. I said, okay. So how does bending a concept create an energy? How does that, where is it getting, what are you talking about? And he's like, time. And I was like, yeah, time is a concept. It doesn't really exist. And I had to break it down for him. I was like, where's the past? It's in your mind. It's a memory, right? And where's the future? It's in your mind. It's your imagination. So what's really there is just now.
So
consciousness.
How you can bend those things.
You can't. You can alter your concept of them. And this is exactly what great sports figures do, is they slow the time, their perception of the time down. It's the same thing that happens. I don't know if you've ever been like in a bad car accident or fallen off of something tall or anything like that. I've had both. And it's like you remember every single split millisecond of that event. And it's almost happening in slow motion time, although it's happening very rapidly. But it slows down in your mind, and that's why you're able to do that. Sports figures that can do this are able to hit a phenomenally fast-pitched ball. Because to them, that speed is only relative to their perception of that speed. It's real simple, man.
Well, they concentrate their focus. That's what they do.
Yeah. So you can't bend or warp really something that's only tangible. That means you're warping your mind.
Yeah, that's what I said exactly. Bending their mind.
That's the only place that time actually exists. We use it as a measure of what has transpired up to the present. We mark it using a little dial, which is cool because it's marked in hours. It's marked in hours. Where's that word come from? Oh, it comes from the word Horus. What's Horus? Oh, yeah, the sun. Okay. So it's based on the movement of the sun. But is it real? No.
What was the later? He brought the argument that they can measure the distance because they have figured out the light, and they can find how far it is, observation. So they have the experiments, but because they can't go there, they have only observation, which is part of scientific method. But for him, it's enough because they confirm it by other observations. And then you're talking about the gases, remember?
Right.
And the light, and how they can figure it out. So I asked him later about how do you know that the color which you see, you figured out which gas is that around this so-called planet, if there are another lights on the way and lights interact with each other, and you have different outcome of the light. So how you think, you know, you have the proper color of the light, and then you can figure it out what's the composition.
That's what I told him. That's what I said. You know what else gives off that spectrum of light? And he says, what? And I said, light.
Yeah.
Good God. It doesn't mean that it's gas.
They are all bent on the freaking basics of logic.
I'll be right
basic
back.
Information.
For a minute.
Sure.
Sound frequencies. When you certain range of frequencies, they have a scale that you can use that takes light color and equates it to sound frequencies. So certain sound frequencies on a spectrum, they can look at the frequencies or like that guy Mike from Roger Ledwell's podcast, who takes the pictures. He takes pictures every night of the week of the sky, and he was showing pictures of stars and stuff that had this weird pulsing, emitting light in color. And I said to him, "Oh, well, those things are emitting color. That means they're emitting a certain frequency." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" I sent him a light scale that shows you the bare frequency by color. And he was like, "Oh, wow, I've never seen that." I was like, "There you go." So those are emitting frequency, even though you're seeing a color of light. You know, it's green or it's yellow or it's red or it's blue or whatever other color in the middle.
From the close distance, we can do that.
Yes,
it's of course we can do that 100%. But what happens is in the long distance, in so-called space, when you have different interferences. And we know that the colors interact with each other and they create different colors, because when you mix all the colors, you have color white, yes? Yeah. The 7 colors, yeah? The same when you mix, for example, color yellow and blue, you have green, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how they fucking know that the colors they see, which they assign to the certain molecules, that they see proper color, which they assume they see. And then, we know the composition of this planet. You fucking don't, because there's plenty of interference on the way.
Yeah, the big distance between here and their imaginary distance.
No logic in their fucking bullshit, man. I'm just sick of it. like I always say, you don't have your fundaments correct. You don't have basic setup. When you have your house with the shitty fundaments, your house will fall down, and your fundaments are deadly. You don't have basics covered, so how you can go for the more complex things if you didn't cover the basis yet? And they can't grasp it, man.
Yeah.
It's just like a speaking to the freaking wall.
Some people exist just for confrontation.
Yeah. That's probably the majority of them now. They're just into this stuff to try to one up somebody and think it makes them feel good in some weird way. I don't understand why somebody just wants to go and just start an argument and be a prick.
Yeah, it's like that guy that was at Sobs a couple nights ago. It's like I knew he was from the debate circles because he used that same rhetoric. It's like, you got to prove your claim. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's just using rhetoric that they use in these little debates that they have.
He said something, I don't know if anybody caught, because he only said it really quick while somebody else was talking. He said, well, I'm a fact checker.
Yeah.
And I knew, I jumped right on the mic and said, he's got to go. You're not checking any facts. You haven't listened to anybody. Neither, I was just like, yeah, this guy's got to go. And it's
there was a case in the U.S. court that they sued the fact checkers, and then the fact checkers said themselves they had to admit in the court that it's only their opinions, not the facts.
Yeah,
it's in court case.
Who's the fact checker for the fact checkers? It's like the government. Exactly. Who oversees the government? The government. Oh wow, then you're never wrong, right?
Yeah.
Circular reasoning. Yeah.
Exactly.
When I heard that, I was just like, all right, yeah, bye. You gotta go. See ya.
So back in a few minutes, I just need to grab something to eat because I really spent like a freaking 7 hours on the stream, so I'm getting hungry. Back in a few.
What's up, Cubby? What have you been up to, man?
Not much, man. I don't know how long I'm going to stay tonight. I got to get up early. I'm going to a little barbecue festival down in southern Illinois tomorrow. And
very nice.
Down by the Cloakial Mound. So I'm going to take some pictures of the Monk Mounds and stuff while I'm there, too, after that. I think it goes into the mid-afternoon, so I'll probably do that.
I've been down there.
Yeah.
I've been down there. I've been down the mounds.
Collinsville.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been down to the mounds. There's a town down there called Mounds too. There's two of them. There's one on the waterfront, and then there's one further inland. And I think you go south of that, and you start heading down towards where the two rivers meet. Go down to Cairo.
Yeah.
Which I've been 5 or 6 times. I love it down there. It's too bad that place is a toilet.
Yeah, I've only been down there kind of in passing, quite a few times actually, but never stopped anywhere really too much. I think Carbondale is the one place I've actually spent any amount of time in, but other than that, I've never really hung out down there. And
they have a huge fort.
Barbecue. Sorry, go ahead.
They have a huge fort at the very end of it. At
Star
the very,
Fort?
No, it's a like an old military fort.
Gotcha.
When me and my friend went down there and hung around in the park and had lunch and with the kids running around and stuff, we were going to Kentucky.
Right on.
And I was like, man, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, they got some cool stuff down there.
It's a long time ago.
Never spent enough time. You're muted, Sav. Oh.
I know I was talking to the people backstage that still didn't fucking hear me.
But yeah, there's a little farmer's market in St. Louis just down the road from there too. I might hit that up. We'll see if I got time to do it all. But
yeah, we stayed down there once, and my buddy said, "Come on, let's hop in the car. Let's go to St. Louis." So we went to St. Louis and got barbecue food, got barbecue ribs and stuff. Oh my god, that was the best barbecue I ever had.
Yeah, it's a little competition thing that they got going on down there tomorrow. So
the damn jerk. That jerk keeps popping into my mind, man. In St. Louis? No, David Johnson. Oh, are you going to St. Louis? Yes.
Or National Lampoons when he goes to East St. Louis and steal his tires.
Are you noticing all this blight? Roll up the window.
Oh yeah, it was where we went was like a downtown. It was a little rough. So I didn't go, and I was like, maybe I'll walk around. And then when we got there, I looked around, and I was like, I ain't walking around.
St. Louis is like that. When we was on our Route 66 trip, we were going to stop and see the St. Louis Arch, And just judging by my surroundings, I was like, that's good enough seeing it out the window. I don't get into that shit at all, man.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough, man. It was a long time ago.
Get a part of that.
We went out to this half-dead town where my friend grew up, south, just over the border of Kentucky. And I mean, literally, like they had one street light, like that kind of town. And we hung around with his family for a weekend, just hung around, left on a Monday, and shot back to Massachusetts when I was living in Mass. And
the gun-free zone sign on the school fence has bullet holes in it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, I was just thinking about all these psychopaths. Well, there again, cities are run by psychopaths. Everybody in government seems to be some kind of a fucking psychopath, perverted psychopaths. All of them. I was just saw a thing here last couple of days about where it's come out that Hillary was on psych meds when she was Secretary of State,
benzos or whatever,
losing her shit all the time.
Or tranquilizer.
Yeah, she was on uncontrollable fits of rage and shit. She's really a nasty person, man. And they had to throw her in a van a couple of times and shit where she had all kinds of stuff. I got a little short video we'll watch about it from Sky News, but other sources I picked that one because it was the shortest. There's other stuff on there. Jimmy Dore did a video about it a little while ago that was pretty funny. Because there's the documents right there talking about all the shit that she would fall into these fits of rage, uncontrollable fits of rage, and then she'd be manic and like bipolar shit going on to the extreme, total psycho bitch shit, man. And that's the people that are running this. I mean, look at like Donald Trump. All these people are just weirdo psychopaths, man. Every single last one of them. And they're only in it for themselves,
Do you remember when she was in front of Congress and she was wearing glasses? And she was wearing these glasses that were like, they looked like they had like something in the middle of it. They almost looked like Coke bottle glasses. Like she had some kind of forensic lenses on or something.
It might have been some kind of teleprompter glass.
I don't know what the hell those were. I've never seen glasses. I mean, I've seen some people with some freaking thick ass glasses, but I was like, holy shit, look at the glasses she's got on. Those things look like they're about 3 inches thick.
Where is that? Let's see. Yeah. Damning information about Hillary Clinton exposed. Yeah, I know. Yeah, listen, you got to see what this is, and this is so much like a little kid. Let's go all the way back in the Wayback Machine to lock her up. And then when it came down to it and the meat hit the metal, he was like, oh, no, they're good people. Let's just leave them alone. It's not a good idea to indict the wife of a former ex-president, blah, 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 right? Okay. Now the heat's on Trump. What's he bringing out?
Yep.
The old lock her up card. The old lock her up card. Now they're going to start seeing a bunch of shit about Hillary, a bunch of shit about Obama. Don't talk about Trump on the Epstein files. I'm not going to say list. I'm going to say in the files because I don't think he was as much of a customer as he was a procurer. This is why he had these beauty pageants and these Miss Teen USA and all that other bullshit. I mean, we've seen more than enough to know that he has very inappropriate thoughts about young girls. Just by his own statements that he's made on live radio and television broadcasts. So there again, psychopaths. You go all the way back through it, and these inbreeds are all psychopaths, man. We'll go over that. One of y'all gave me a link, I think it was you, D-Man, to all these inbred Habsburgs and shit.
Yeah, that was a cool link.
King George pissing blue and all kinds of crazy stuff.
They had, a lot of them had that weird Habsburg chin. They had this giant chin. Everybody did.
Dude,
some of them were hemophiliacs big time. Some of them couldn't talk or eat, blind.
Oh, and it was the whole family, not just those monarchs. because you could go through these castles like the one in Höchst where I lived. It was a palace there. It's just small, and you go in it, and it was owned by the Habsburgs, and there's portraits of the inhabitants, and they all have that same Rocky Dennis face, man.
Yep.
Every one of them. I know that's a terrible way to put it, but if you ever saw Mask, they kind of look like that, man.
There's a family in West Virginia called the I can't remember their name now, but there's a guy on YouTube who goes down and interviews them here and there, and they're all inbred, all of them. They're all like either can't speak or they're blind or they're cross-eyed. I forget what they're called, but it's called Soft White Underbelly. They do interviews.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. The whole family is fucked up. Everybody, all the kids, all the nephews. It's like, yeah, well, that's what happens when when you're into breeding. The same thing happens with animals when they do that with rabbits and stuff. Rabbits, that's what happens. They get sick and they have all kinds of weird problems.
Yeah. It's when they're too closely related. Once you get a few branches away, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons they go with this marriage license thing, the license to make sure that it's a compatible marriage and that kind of a thing too, because it's not only a legal thing, it's also what product comes of that union. And I use the word product in its literal sense. It has to be viable product, and you're not going to get viable product if they're too closely related. That's why they had to make it illegal to marry your brother or sister.
In a way, it's what did they call it? What did the Germans call it when they did that with the breeding? I can't remember the name.
Selective breeding.
Yeah, but it was like they had a word for it. I can't remember.
Well, and it even goes into what like the Longshanks of England did during the occupation of Scotland. He said, if we can't drive them out, we'll breed them out. And so then he issued the order of prima nocta that meant that any woman that got married, her first wedding night had to be spent with the governor or whoever was in charge of that land that they lived on before the groom, with the obvious intent of impregnating her with an Englishman and not a Scotsman. You see, that was that same fucking thing. Even sick. That's even sick, man. You know what I do just to get back at the guy? I would find the most VD infested, wretched looking whore that I could, and then just say that I would marry her and say, "Oh, here you go, King. You get to have prima nocta. Good luck. Good luck 400 years before fucking penicillin."
I put a link in the chat. It's called Ancient Bloodlines Contemporary Power. I put it in the regular chat for everybody.
Oh, yeah, cool.
It's too long for this, but it's really good. It kind of goes into a lot of that.
The name of that family was the Whitakers.
Yeah,
and I watched that whole series. Yeah, and they got the one son who he can just bark. That's all he does.
He can't talk anything.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're kind of similar to the Wild Whites of West Virginia. You ever seen that?
But I don't think that's inbred. I think that's just hillbilly. It's just hillbilly.
Yeah, no, there's some inbreeding going on there.
They're all just a little wacky because West Virginia is wacky. I've been there many times.
That's why they were the first one who knew about the DNA and genome, because they were trying to sort out their inbreed problem. Because why they had inbreed issues? Because they didn't want to share their money with the outsiders. Yeah. That's why they were inbreeding in the family, because
they call it eugenics. Eugenics is what they use.
Yes, eugenics
originally for animals, because they started to realize that if the animals just did what they wanted, they would fucking hump everything that anybody could find.
And Germans were propagating that.
Yeah,
eugenics.
And they brought eugenics in so that they had a system to separate the animals, so that you didn't have crossbreeding where it would start to generate diseases that you would then eat it and then pass on genetic issues to you. And that was I used to know a girl that used to raise rabbits, and she used to run into rabbits sometimes where they would, they'd cut them open and stuff, and they'd be spotted livers and all kinds of problems with them. And she'd say, okay, that's a genetic problem. So they would take them out completely pull them off, And if they had any genetic issues where they would see it over and over, they would pull them right out of the breeding altogether, and wouldn't eat them or whatever, because she said, they probably have some kind of genetic deformities or some kind of problems with them.
They named this kid that barks. They named him Fido. Fido don't say much, barks a lot, but boy, he can make some sweet shine.
Yeah, it's a wild family.
Just don't let him hump your leg. He likes to do that from time to time. Just smack him loose with his newspaper if he does it again. Jiminy crickets. Anyway, Hillary on drugs, of course.
Past relationship.
What?
Is it even the real Hillary, or is it some fake backup Hillary?
Who knows, man? Whoever was occupying that spot as Secretary of State in the White House behind closed doors was enraging and being like manic depressive to the degree of craziness on both ends of the spectrum. That's what I know.
Intense pressure on Donald Trump over his past relationship with disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. All of a sudden, the Russia hoax is back. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard appeared at a White House press briefing this morning to allege the Obama administration misled the public about intelligence surrounding Russian interference in the 2016 election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true.
Joining us live now, Sky News US analyst Michael Ware. Michael, good to see you today. A lot of folks would have thought this Russia hoax was done and dusted, but now it's back. Is this credible, or is it just a distraction?
Well, that's a great question, isn't it? This is now a 9-year saga. It began in 2016 and it continues now in 2025.
More of chasing the rabbit.
President Trump's new director of national intelligence, who sits above all the myriad of other intelligence agencies and sifts their material to come to coherent conclusions, is saying that a new investigation that she's been conducting has revealed the fact that
because Trump is now under scrutiny, he knows he fucks up with the Epstein files. So people from MAGA kind of moving away from him. That's why he has to unite them. And what helps with that? Yeah. Going after Obama and going after Hillary. So he hopes he will bring some back. That's all another fucking psyop.
Yeah,
Nothing happened anyway.
Bringing back that old rhetoric. He's just bringing back the shit that he negated to do the last time. What changed? What changed then Trump? What changed since then to now?
Information about him.
Yeah.
That's what changed.
You need to divert the attention from this subject to a different one.
If that's the case and he did all this shit, just go and arrest him. What the fuck are you waiting for? Just go and do it. And then come on the TV and then tell everybody what he did. You don't go on the TV and tell people what they did and then not do anything about it.
Exactly.
So stupid.
It's divide and conquer, so just to keep people preoccupied with this bullshit instead of focusing on his fuck-ups, how he is driving the America into the shit.
Yeah.
Listen, I read a book by a guy named, I can't even remember what his name is. It was called Unlimited Access. You probably look that up. Let me see. Unlimited Access book. There it is. Come on. Who was that? He was an FBI agent, Gary Aldrich. That was the name I was going to say, but I was like, wait a second, it doesn't sound right to me. Anyway, he worked in the White House as a FBI agent. He was part of what was called SPIN. He wrote this book in 1996, I think. Yeah. And he was part of what's called SPIN, and that's an acronym for something. But what they do, it's a special detail of the FBI in the White House that they're responsible for the security clearances and issuing the White House passes to staff members. Okay. And during the Clinton administration, he had the hardest time all the way through the administration, even getting proper passes for the staff that was being hired by the Clintons. Now, some of the stories of Hillary that he tells in this book, that people were told not to make eye contact with her when you walk down the hallway. If you did, she would get irate and go off on you. You weren't allowed to look at her or anything. I mean, they had these fucking rules about, and she was just the first lady. She was just the first lady at that time. He talks about walking into this one office and two of them were going at it. I think Stephanopoulos was part of it, and guys going at it in this room. And they would just leave a mess all around. There was ketchup on the fucking walls from hamburgers, and there was pizza boxes laying on the floor and shit in there. The place was a total fucking pigsty. And then they had this Christmas tree with a bunch of goddamn condoms and butt plugs and shit hanging off it. I mean, these people were insane. They are insane. This little portrait that we get of them from their public relations, i.e. the press, the mainstream mockingbird media, that's just a facade, man. These people are crazy fucking lunatics behind closed doors, man. It would horrify you to see these people in private. It literally would. Even in their little meetings, it would horrify you, the way they act. And the things that the things that they risk even on our behalf. Wow. It's terrible, man.
Then President Barack Obama manufactured intelligence to show that not only did Russia interfere with the US elections or meddle, but that they did so with the specific intent of helping President Trump get elected. And in fact, they were really going out of their way, according to Obama's fake intelligence, to defeat Hillary Clinton. She says that there were people working within the government during President Trump's first administration to undermine the president the first go round. And that's why this material was not released earlier.
Right.
Now, there's some problems with these conclusions, however.
I thought the Mueller investigation cleared Trump of this years ago.
Well, they cleared Trump of colluding with the Russians. The question is, did the Russians, off their own bat, for their own national interests, go out of their way to nonetheless help then candidate Trump? Now, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, says, yes, Obama didn't like the intelligence community assessments that simply said, no, the Russians were trying to influence the elections. And we know from one of the alleged co-conspirators that the Russians had sent undercover operatives here to gather atmospheric intelligence on what Americans were thinking. That
you mean kind of like the United States does in all these other countries that we want to manipulate and control? How we go in with support for one of the candidates that's in there in a supposed election and everything. Don't we support one over the other and we try to influence their election? Yes, all the time.
All across the world, too.
So this isn't something new. All countries do this. Yeah. They all try to do this.
We've had our hand in every election that's probably ever happened.
Oh, man.
Probably the last 50 or 60 years easily. And
we were responsible. The United States was responsible for putting Saddam Hussein into power.
Yep.
Okay.
We were friendly with what's his name too. We helped put him in too. Who was the guy from Libya that we ended up killing?
Gaddafi. Yeah.
And every person that they end up putting in there that then realizes that they're scumbags, they end up killing in the end. Every single one of them. They did the same thing in Chile. They did the same thing in Yugoslavia. They did the same thing.
Cambodia, South Vietnam.
You can just go on and on and on and on about all these places that
What was the guy supposedly responsible for 9/11? Oh, Jesus, I forgot.
Osama
bin Laden, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in cahoots with Clintons.
Well, yeah,
they business together. Yeah,
the Bushes had direct connections to an oil company directly with their family.
The most funny thing was that supposedly alphabet agencies were looking for him, but they couldn't find him. But then
CNN found him.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Peter Arnett found him, no problem.
I'm telling you, man.
It's a reporter from a TV station.
We can't find them. We got the greatest technology in the world, satellites and space shit and all this shit that they always tout and talk about, but they can't find a guy in the fucking desert with a camel in a cave.
You remember when the South Vietnamese president was assassinated by supposed Viet Cong? They were killed by the CIA because they didn't want to play ball with the CIA anymore.
There was a big route with Cambodia too, because we were using Cambodia to pull guys in and out of to go into
I knew a Marine that wasn't in Cambodia too. Or Laos. He told us about that. He said that was crazy. He said they had no ID, they had no insignia, no name tags, nothing. It was bullshit, man. But see, that's just it. Who interferes in it in foreign politics? We do.
Yeah.
Every time we point our finger, there's that thumb pointing right back at us, man. It's like, yeah. So this is new. How?
It's the same shit that's been going on longer than I've been alive.
Sure. What was the whole point of the McCarthy hearings? Wasn't that saying that there were communists here trying to subvert our democratic process? Yeah, back in the 50s, right? So this is not like it's unheard of.
Yeah, didn't they have the list that they were putting all the people on? What was the Pete Seeger? Pete Seeger, the singer, was one of them too.
Yeah.
He was a communist. So wasn't MLK. They have pictures of MLK at commie schools and stuff out in the Midwest. It's like, these people are all influenced in some way, whether they know it or not.
Yeah. So this is just like, okay, tell us about Hillary's vote.
They had created internet bots to spew out disinformation, and all part of what this former acting deputy director of the FBI says was a sweeping and sophisticated campaign by Russia to nudge the election. What the Obama administration concluded is that the Russians were never able to actually change the tally of the votes.
Okay, this is more focused on this. I thought it was going to bring up more of that other. So I'm just going to bring up Jimmy Dore.
In the 1960s, the Soviets, some of their shit got leaked out in the 60s on how they were going to infiltrate this place. They knew that there was no chance in hell that they were ever going to take this place over or land on this land or do anything, because they would get demolished. So they figured, okay, we'll send all our ideologues to all the schools and we'll influence all the kids and we'll change the music and the culture and we'll make it ugly and nasty and we'll add a bunch of shit and we'll turn them into degenerates. And that's exactly what they did. It's exactly to a T what they did.
Yuri Bezmenov, ex-KGB.
Yeah.
Subvert, who ran away from Russia, was saying all this.
Yep.
Subversion.
Yeah, they'll subvert them through all the higher learning and all the colleges, and it won't be a short term. It'll be a long term game.
Yes. Minimum time required is around 20 years, because at the minimum time when the child which has been indoctrinated in the schooling system is grow up and start indoctrinating his own children.
Yep.
So
they also armed Afghanistan.
Oh well, the arms thing. I mean, they'll sell arms to anybody. They don't care.
I know it is. Yeah, the Russians, I'm saying. That's what kind of led to the whole ISIS, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, they have a shared interest in selling, not only influence, but also, weapons at the same time. So I mean, same thing we do. It's the same thing Canada did a while ago when Canada had contracts to go sell weapons to the Saudi Arabians, and no one knew about it. And people started to talk about it, and all of a sudden, everybody got in an uproar over it because nobody wanted to sell. All the people in Canada didn't want the government to sell weapons to fucking Saudi Arabia. So people started to get all pissed off about it, and it kind of influenced them a bit to change course because they realized, oh shit, this could get kind of ugly politically, you know. And I'm sure that they probably just sold it to them anyway and just kind of did it on the side or through a proxy or something, you know. I mean, they're all in the game to make money from whatever the hell is going on. They look at strife and people in problematic countries or countries that have political problems in any way they can to influence them or to make money off of your problems. And that's how these people work. It's psychopathic.
Well, look, here's what you got going on. I was looking at this second paragraph here, and it says, it says, as of September 2016, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, had Democratic National Committee information that President Obama and party leaders found the state of Secretary Clinton's health to be extraordinarily alarming and felt it could have serious negative impact on her election prospects. Her health information was being kept in strictest secrecy, and even close advisors were not being fully informed. The SVR processed DNC communications that Clinton was suffering from, quote, intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers, and while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with a thirst for power. That's a dangerous bitch right there, man.
She suffered from type 2 diabetes too, huh?
Yeah, type 2 diabetes, ischemic heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, hence getting thrown in the back of a van like a dead body, man. Yeah. See what I'm saying? This is crazy shit. Listen to Jimmy's got a great take on this.
An intelligence agency possessed DNC communications that Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems.
I'm sorry, what?
Intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Almost like she was bipolar.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers.
Oh, she is Britney Spears.
And while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with the thirst for power. These are communications coming from the Democratic National Committee obtained by Russian intelligence. We knew that they were lying constantly. We knew they wouldn't take her to a hospital when she passed out, that they took her to a fake hospital they had set up. And we knew that she had the kind of pneumonia that people with Parkinson's get often.
Yeah, that's the one where she is at the 9/11 thing.
Yeah.
And she had that episode where they left her shoe on the scene, actually, and threw her in the back of the van like a corpse.
She stiffened up like a board.
They had her daughter's apartment rigged up as a hospital for her. That's what? That was crazy. I remember that.
So that's why. And so now we know it's even worse. They had her heavily tranquilized the whole time. Did anyone know? So this is, to me, this is the part that no one's going to talk about this for some reason. So Joe Miller caught this. When Hillary Clinton passed out when she was running for president, remember she fell and they took her, they didn't take her to a hospital. They took her to their own private hospital that they had set up in their daughter's apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like it cost tens of millions of dollars to set up. And I would play that video and I would say, there was a lot of speculation she had Parkinson's at that time because she had the kind of pneumonia you get when you have Parkinson's. And then they lied about the kind of pneumonia she had. And so there was a lot of lying going on about her illness. So a lot of people hate me for asking questions about that. A lot of my old Hollywood friends hate me for asking questions about Hillary's health during the election in 2016. But they were lying about it, and it's my duty to do that. So I did. So this is the part This is from what Tulsi released today. And here's the part I think is really, really interesting about that. It says, as of September 2016, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Services, the SVR, had Democratic National Committee, the DNC, information. So the Russian intelligence, they had information they had gotten from the DNCs. Somehow they got, the DNC was saying that President Obama and the Democratic Party leaders found the state of Secretary Clinton's health to be extraordinarily alarming. So people called me every name in the book for raising questions about her health. But it turns out Barack Obama and the Democratic Party were saying her health was extraordinarily alarming. At that same time, I was questioning it.
So they don't care. Just keep it a secret and put the bitch in there.
Yep.
Regardless of whether or not she's psychopathic and shit, just go ahead and put her in there. Let her run. What? That's insane, man. And people are going along with this, you know, because they get caught up in a personality or some shit, or this team sports of politics, which is the dumbest goddamn thing I ever saw, man. All based on PR.
Do you really think that any of these guys are really just doing the things that they want to do, or are they just puppets and being told what to do?
It's exactly what I was going to say. These people are puppets and they're handpicked. So, you know, this is what they got to go with. So they throw these people out there. And when something happens to them, like this,
they're all controlled.
It's just like they're going to go through any trouble they can just to keep them throwing them out there. Look at Biden. I mean, Trump's no different. They're all the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you see his ankles all swelled up, man?
Yeah.
Trump is sitting there at something there in Scotland or whatever, and you look at around his ankles are that big around, man.
No, he's almost 80, right? 79, I think.
His brother just died not too long ago, too. I think a few years ago.
Yeah, that did happen just recently.
His older brother.
Yeah. And then he goes and tells you that his uncle taught Ted Kaczynski, and his uncle had retired before Ted Kaczynski even went to the school. I mean, this guy just tells lies. You know, he just says shit. He says, yeah, they have think tanks. You know, they build buildings for people to think in. What? Shut up. How are you so stupid? He just says stuff, and he's just bombastic, and he's, I don't know what, he's like a thesaurus of fucking adjectives, you know, and I don't know, what do you call it?
Catchphrases.
Well, catchphrases, he's just hyperbole. Man. Total hyperbole. And he's like, yeah, it's the most fantastic ever in the world. I'm the greatest that there is. You can ask anybody. They all say I'm the greatest one. Well, I don't say that. So somebody ask me. You know, that kind of rhetoric, like a salesman. And it's like, it gets to a point where you want the salesman to go away. Now, stop your pitch on me. Leave me alone.
And people were smearing me left and right for questioning it. Guess who else was saying that at the same time? Barack Obama and the Democratic Party, the leaders, were saying,
"Oh my God!" Next, you're going to tell me that they have an internal memo about Pizzagate,
and it felt it could have serious negative impact on her election prospects. Her health information was being kept in strictest secrecy. She wouldn't even, when she passed out at that event, which we all saw on video, she fell down. They had to pick her up off the ground and throw her into a van. That was kept in this, and they didn't take her to a hospital. They took her to a makeshift hospital that the Clinton had set up in the apartment of her daughter.
like a gangster would do.
Like a gangster
when they have to
would
go to
do.
a vet to get a bullet out because the
Yes.
boss report it.
You know, I remember at the time, that's what I thought. You know, you wait a second, you got a makeshift hospital made up in your fucking daughter's apartment and shit. That's like what gangsters have, man. You know, we can't go to the regular hospital. We have to go here, or else there will be a report of a bullet wound, you know, and they'll investigate it. You know, oh my God. Oh, she had to be fed pureed infants for a week.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They rubbed
That's
all
mafia
those
stuff.
What is it?
They rubbed all those flesh pills from China all over her.
Oh yeah, they had her just smeared up with that shit. Nasty. You think about having to be the person that put that on her.
Ugh.
You imagine you got to be the one to give Hillary Clinton a sponge bath.
Yeah.
Oh man.
If you're into cankles,
Tougher than $2 steak.
Oh, wow. I don't know, Luke. I haven't discussed it with him, man. I don't know if he still is or not. I can't imagine anybody. I mean, I wasn't able to really imagine anybody being that deeply invested into someone they don't know in the first place. But then, especially with everything that's come to light already, how they could still just hang their hopes on this one guy. And he's like, has he really done anything other than rile up the Hispanics? I don't really see anything happening that's a result of anything that he's done at all. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but
I don't know. I agree with the immigration thing. I think he's doing all right on that.
Well, I don't know. They're making a lot of mistakes, and I think they're given way too much leeway to violate the Constitution of the United States in order to, just because, well, yeah, look how we got them. It's like, it doesn't matter. You didn't follow the fucking procedure, man.
Yeah.
Gotta
follow the law.
Sometimes you just gotta wait for the spell to wear off and look back in hindsight, For some people, it's going to take a while. They're going to have to go back a few years after all this is said and done, and it's like, oh, that's what was going on.
Yeah, but most people don't. Most people don't look back 2 months. Never mind a couple of years or a couple of elections. I mean, sometimes I say stuff that people look at me like I'm insane. From stuff that I remember from the mid 2000s. They look at me like I don't remember last week. Like some people literally say like I don't know what happened 2 years ago. Like people's focal ability to focus on or have a memory of things is so shoddy now that because everybody is in this quick information
overload, man.
Yeah, you just don't. And plus, people are not looking deep enough into things because some new thing came out, and some new thing came out, and some new thing came out.
Yep.
People just don't have the time to actually. Yeah, it's like a artificially induced ADHD.
Yeah,
it's doing to everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I said last week on the last show that it's ADHD. I mean, you just can't focus on it. I grew up with a kid that was like that. We'd be talking about something and a light would blink or a car would drive by that was a certain color. Wow, look at that car! Just mid sentence. Boom, 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 boom.
I think we underestimate the amount of people who are on medications and other forms of. I mean, there's so many people. You look at these people that are out driving on the road. Sometimes it's like, wow, that person's probably jacked up on pills. That person's probably drinking, or it's like, I think we completely underestimate the amount of.
It's like that guy that come by the other day when I was on Flatzoid. A friend of mine, he come by. He's like that too. He'll ask you something, and you tell him, and then he'll ask you the same thing again. It's like I just told you. He wasn't listening to nothing. But it was funny because Max, Max from Matters Now, he was Ozzy and partner there. The guy with the voice that talks like that. And
I don't like that guy.
he was he's sitting over here on the couch, my friend. He says, "Are you talking to an AI?"
Kinda.
I got a rule. I'll tell somebody 3 times, and after the 3rd time, if you ain't got it, forget about it.
Yeah.
Don't ask me again.
Yeah. Yeah, I done told you 3 times.
Yeah.
What do you tell a woman with 2 black eyes?
You already told her.
Yeah, nothing. You already told her twice. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. We do not promote domestic violence.
No.
However, it is a celebrated event on Sundays where I live.
Her health information was being kept in strictest secrecy, and even close advisors were not fully informed.
I bet.
Also, the Russian intelligence agency possessed DNC communications that Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems.
I'm sorry, what?
Intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, almost like she was bipolar.
Sounds like she's Britney Spears.
Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers.
Oh, she is Britney Spears.
And while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with the thirst for power. These are communications coming from the Democratic National Committee obtained by Russian intelligence.
Owen.
Oh, she thirsts for power even more than she thirsts for the blood of children.
The Russian intelligence agency also had...
You hear what he said?
Yeah.
She thirsts for power more than she thirsts for the blood of children.
Excuse me, Godzilla 37 made a comment and said she sounds like she's Arwen. There you go.
Is that fruitcake guy still around, man?
Arwen, yeah.
Oh, man.
Crazier than ever.
I'd imagine. What's it say? Dreamy says there is no government. It's just a bunch of criminals working for the world's largest well-organized crime syndicate. When everyone figures that out, let's hope there are some of us left. Yeah. They won't, though, if they keep playing into this shit.
Information that Clinton suffered from type 2 diabetes, ischemic heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Wow.
That's somebody getting ready to die.
Yeah.
That's something getting ready. That's somebody getting ready to die right there, man.
Thrombosis is circulatory problems in the feet and the legs.
I got the party favors.
Hey, that's what I think Trump's got going on right now. That thrombosis. You see his ankles, man. He's got some fat ass ankles, man.
That's all that McDonald's he's eating.
Yeah, right.
I eat that shit. My God,
why would he even promote
McDonald's and Diet Coke?
I worked with a guy because we used to drive vans years ago, and he would refuse. We used to have to drive from Boston, from New Hampshire to Boston, from Boston to New York and back. So he would literally everything he would eat would be from McDonald's off of the turnpike the entire time. And I think to myself, how is this guy still alive after working with him for like a year every day? Like, how do you eat McDonald's twice a day? How do you do it?
It's usually from like high sodium diet or consumption of a lot of sodium.
Just tons of coffee, cup of coffee. Every time he would stop, he'd go get the biggest coffee that you could get at Dunkin' Donuts, with 7 sugars in it.
Oh,
and
God.
I think to myself, how is this guy alive?
See, I don't understand it. You want coffee, but you want to make it taste like something else. What the fuck is that?
Well, you don't want to have your mocha sprinkles and
no, I don't.
Turbo shots and
I
all
wanted
the
a
other
hot
stuff.
chocolate. I'd get a fucking hot chocolate. I wanted coffee. I didn't want milk that tastes like coffee. I don't want coffee that tastes like milk. I don't want candy in my fucking coffee either. It's coffee.
You don't want a mocha hazelnut.
No.
With soy sprinklings.
No, otherwise I'd have ordered a hot chocolate or some shit. See?
That's another reason all these people are jacked up on all them freaking coffees loaded with sugar. And it's like they ain't no good to work with because they're all jacked up, talking your head off, in the morning, and then by noon they're worthless as hell.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like it's sugar crash.
Those fucking energy drinks too, man.
That too, yeah.
Listen, that's a big problem with a lot of these cops. They're all not only half of them hopped up on fucking steroids, they also drinking those Red Bulls like they're going out of goddamn style and shit, and they're ready to crack heads and ask questions later,
The majority of them are on what they call testosterone, TRT, where it's completely legal. They can go to a doctor and have it prescribed to them. So they're jacked to the gills because they're on growth hormones.
Meanwhile, their nuts are shrinking up like
it's 2 different things, but it's still same concept.
Yeah, TRT, but it's the same effect. So they're so jacked out. You're not going to be 50 years old. Listen, I've known a few natty people who were the cleanest eaters. 20, 30, 25, 30 years of eating the cleanest food possible, working out every day that don't look like some of these guys who are in their 50s. Like Liver King and all these other guys. That's not natural.
It's not natural.
Yeah.
Not healthy.
You're taking growth hormones and all that stuff. It's growing your organs inside your skeleton.
Yeah.
It's growing your lungs and your stomach, and your organs are growing inside.
It's simultaneously shrinking your nuts.
Oh well, it's yeah, exactly. It's making it so it doesn't work.
It draws all the protein.
Then they have to
So
take
that's
those
boring.
Alex Jones Wang pills.
Yeah, you have to go get those. You have to go get the Wang pills. Anyway. Go it on Alex Jones. Get some boner pills.
Gravy every day.
That's COPD. That's tough. That's bad.
Wait, so she smokes? That's what I'm shocked about.
The Russian,
she must be smoking.
The Russian intelligence possessed a campaign email discussing a plan approved by Secretary Clinton to link Putin and Russia hackers to candidate Trump in order to distract. Yes. So that's, to me, that's the, that
I'm blown away by this, Jimmy, because
that's pretty much what I wanted to cover on that. I mean, what the fuck? They'll hide the fact that somebody's a psychopathic fucking moron in order to put them in there. And then they pull the shit that they do in there and people act surprised. You know, why are they acting so weird? Why are they, you know, come on. What do you think? You believed a PR campaign. That's what you believed.
Oh.
You bought a car without test driving it. That's what you did. Crazy.
I'm gonna end up changing my voter registration over to a party that I know isn't gonna win, just so that way I can at least just go vote and say, well, I know they're gonna win, but who cares? Just for the hell of it.
I'm just not gonna vote.
I'm gonna vote just because I can, but you know, I'm gonna vote for somebody that I know isn't gonna win.
Well, here's the problem with voting. Regardless of what your vote cast is that by you voting is an acknowledgement and an acceptance of the contract, regardless of the outcome. That is your consent to the contract when you vote, regardless of the outcome. And that's how that works. That's why I'm not I take the third option. I'm not picking anybody. I don't want to try to pick anybody.
Do you vote local? Do you vote your local elections?
In our town election, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually know personally the candidates.
Yeah, you can't do that around here.
Yeah, I personally know the candidates around here. And
where I'm at,
I'm not voting for any of those guys. So.
Oh, we don't know anybody up here. It's all people from other states that move here, and all of a sudden
they
they're
import
political
everybody
candidate.
from Chicago here.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Somebody. It's very rare, if ever, that some out of towner is going to win, even in county elections, because you know we've had a few try that, and they get in on the town council. They move here from like up north. And they come here and try to make this place like up north when they came here because they wanted to get away from what was up north. It's really stupid, but they don't last. A local's going to win over a flatland foreigner any day of the week.
Yeah,
around here. You know, and the sheriffs. I mean, look at our last sheriff election was Cubbage versus Cubbage. They're cousins. Everybody knows both of them. Most of the people around voting went to high school with them or knew them in school.
That should be illegal.
It's a can't lose situation, huh?
Yeah, well, no, they were like actually diametrically opposed.
Oh, really?
You know, it's not like they're close cousins at all. They favor each other, but that whole family
it's the Hatfields versus the McCoys.
Yeah, kind of. You know, and it's like here in the town, like I know personally the mayor, I know the guy that was the last mayor, you know, and everybody knows of them. And it's not like they can really get away with a whole lot of shenanigans behind the scenes because it's a small town, you know. Something happens, everybody fucking knows. That's all. You know, so yeah, I could participate in that. But as far as, hey, here's some guy that I'm getting some kind of a whitewashed PR of, like Donald Trump or Barack Obama or whoever the hell else, you know, they're trying to make him into a rock star. I already know that a hit song is created through repetition, and you keep pushing this motherfucker up in my face and telling me what a great guy he is. Okay. Nobody's a great guy. People all have shit in their pants. Everybody. So that's the way, I got to look at it, so you're really pushing this guy way too hard. Why? Because you want power. And I'm a firm believer that anybody that seeks power should be barred from ever having it. Because what's the motivation?
Yeah, money, control.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like when they used to have those hippie communes, and everybody thought this will be a great idea. You join this commune, and everybody comes together, and they grow food, and they do their own thing, and they party and do all this stuff. And then, of course, people get into conflict, and of course, they have to put somebody in to be the moderator, and then it ends up turning into a craziness fest.
Right.
Because then this guy becomes the guru or the Maharaji,
Right.
And then it just goes to hell real quick.
Well, I mean, a system like that, a cooperative system with arbitrator for conflicts, because you're always going to have conflicts, and so it's necessary, I think, to have a wiser arbitrator. Tribes had that. Things function okay organizationally in small units. Once it gets to a grand scale, a large scale, they're always talking about progressing and getting bigger and shit. Yeah. It just gets worse as it gets bigger.
Yeah.
You see, there's more control over it when it's smaller, when it's small groups that actually work in conjunction with one another, but they're still independent and separate, is a much better system than to have one huge conglomeration, because it's just a bureaucratic mess.
Yeah, we got nothing but DEI fruitcakes around here. They just piss away tax money on the dumbest shit. It's crazy.
I know.
It's like, we need to build another freaking sidewalk in a park. And it's like, don't do anything about the flood walls or anything like that. I mean, why do anything that makes sense?
This is what was so crazy. When my wife worked at the health department years ago, I'm sure you're familiar with a program called WIC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's where they get these women who have
food stamps, basically. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. It's like food stamps.
Similar.
All right. So the supervisor came in and said, hey, we have to find a way to get the WIC numbers up. So we're going to lower down the standards. Well, they didn't say that part at first, but they said we need to get the WIC numbers up. They've gone down. And my wife's like, isn't that a good thing? There's less people that need assistance, So what they ended up doing was lowering the requirements so that more and more people would get on it to justify their existence and their job. Yep. Where in reality, if you don't have people to help you, they created people to help. You see, that's what they did. They created people to help that didn't really need the help, but took advantage of it because, hell, why should it come out of my pocket? If I'm eligible, I'll take it. See?
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Go ahead, Demon.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Mossy Chan dropped a message. Sav. Okay. She said, Sav, you're a purist. I want stuff tasting like it's supposed to, too. I remember real cream from real cows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like nothing. I don't think things taste. Well, listen, just to give you a reference to it, we bought a half of a cow, local, grass-fed beef, and in the long run, it's actually cheaper than buying it at the store, but it's more beneficial too. Let me tell you something. It doesn't even taste anything like a store-bought steak.
Or it looks like it.
We thawed a couple of steaks to eat one night, and somebody came over and there wasn't time to thaw another steak. And I said, I can just run up here to the store. It's only like a mile up the road. I said, I can run up here and get another steak, throw that on the grill too. Dude, not even a comparison. I got the same cut, same kind of steak as what I had in my freezer. And the color was different, the texture, the tenderness of it. Oh my God, that grass-fed beef was just so nice and tender, really good. And the other thing, it was just like meat flavored substance, as far as comparison to the actual.
They say that when those animals eat grass, it's higher in nutrients too. CoQ10, I think, was one of them too. They found that most meat that from grass-fed stuff had higher levels of CoQ10.
Yeah, I mean, there's no comparison, man.
Yeah, I got a real good butcher I trust, and I grind up all my own burgers and do all that stuff myself. So, it's a little upfront cost, like you're saying, but in the long run, you're saving money big time, and
Yeah,
you're getting
you
a better
don't eat as
product.
much.
Yeah,
and you don't eat as much.
right. Too. Yeah,
I found that out. If we went in, there was a co-op when it first opened over in Harrisonburg, and it's all local organic shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in there and got an organic, free-range chicken. Chicken is about that big. Now you get them at the supermarket, they about that big.
Yeah.
Right? But this thing is about that big. Got some fresh carrots, onions, vegetables and shit. Put it in there with some organic chicken broth. Let it sit in the slow cooker all day. We came home and ate that. And let me tell you something. When I put that in my mouth, it was like my body went, oh my God, thank you. I've missed this. Yeah. It was that kind of a feeling. And it was like, we didn't even finish the whole bird and everybody was satisfied. Everybody was, no, I'm good. I don't need any more, man.
Well, you'll notice that the inflammation in your joints will feel better too. After, you can tell all that stuff. It has a full effect on your whole body.
Yeah.
And your mind, for that matter. I mean, it fogs your mind up buying all that poisonous crap from everywhere else, the stores or whatever, the corporations.
Up by my dad's place, we used to go to a farm that was right up the road, and we used to get real milk, no pasteurization. And Thanksgiving, we would go up and get real turkeys. I could walk over and say, I want that one. And the guy would go right over and grab the turkey. They had real chicken. They had real stuff raised right there, right up the road. No store, nothing. You went right to the farm, right there on the spot. The guy would drop it in the thing and pull all the feathers out of it and say, do you want the guts in it? Yeah, sure. Whatever. I mean, just walk right up the road and go get it. Totally different world.
Yeah.
Try now you go to the supermarket and go look at what turkey looks like, and the turkey is, they're full of all kinds of crap. So full of all kinds of shit, hormones, and they make it so that it tries to make more meat. Doesn't mean that it's more healthy for you either.
Right. And that's a big thing with the conspiracy of chemtrails too. At least what I think is they're trying to, that all these people are trying to get more healthy and go organic, plant their own gardens. So they're spraying all this crap all over, trying to ruin everybody else's way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure that they're probably doing that to affect the animals, so you'll eat it and not you'll get sick. I mean, everything, vegetables and stuff. I know some people that do that, where everything they eat is from stuff that's raised or farmed or right on their own land out in the Carolinas. I mean, there's some people doing it. That's hard work. That's some hard work, man.
Yeah, you put a link in the back chat here, and it what is the name of this video? Doesn't have one. Oh, the truth about Judaism. And did you want us to play that?
Yes, please. It's pretty good. I have posted as well the long interview with her, presentation. Oh, it's great. It's awesome.
All right, so this one's just 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
One thing before you play it. One more quarter said he found that tallow helps with joint and muscle pain. I'm going to tell you a fact. In the early days of McDonald's, pre all this bullshit now that I would never touch, that was exactly what they cooked the French fries in. Beef tallow.
Yeah, that's what they're trying. That's why RFK is trying to do this thing where it's like, oh, we're making all the fast food places go back to tallow again. It's like,
well, do you remember back when Burger King really was flame broiled burgers?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that was for real. That was the difference between them and McDonald's. You had flame broiled versus a grill.
You would pull in the parking lot and you could smell it. It smelled like a barbecue.
Yeah, it smelled good. Like when you go to Bonanza or Ponderosa, that smell outside.
Yeah.
You get the same thing up here at Texas Roadhouse, man.
Now they pour some shit in there that makes that smell at certain hours so that it will get you to go in there and try to buy something. When you say, oh, wow, what's that smell? But that isn't, they're not really.
It doesn't even smell the same. It smells like shit.
Yeah, it's some kind of shit that they throw that makes the smell. It isn't just actually from the smell.
I learned this really cool trick that prior to the morning customers coming into a restaurant, and even at other times of the day, I could increase coffee sales merely by just dribbling a little bit of the coffee onto the burner of the coffee pot.
Yeah, because of
And
the
that
smell.
smell would go out and permeate throughout the restaurant. And people would smell like coffee. You go out there and say, "Can I get you something to drink? Anything after, for after your dinner?" "Yeah, I think I'll have a cup of coffee." And I proved that one night. I says, "Watch, I bet you I can sell an entire pot of coffee." And they said, "But it's 5:30 at night." I said, "I don't care. I bet you I can sell it." Watch. And I did it, and what a great way to get a piece of pie in there too.
You know what they do with what they do with the 7-Eleven now is they have pizza at 7-Eleven. So there's always pizza in there. So when you walk in, what's the first thing you smell? Pizza. And I mean, 24 hours a day, they have pizza ready to go. And it's annoying now because I walk in and I smell pizza and I want to eat it. And I'm like, son of a bitch, you got pizza going all the time.
And the color schemes that they use too.
Yeah.
Color schemes they use, like the fast food restaurants always use a combination of red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes that combination of colors makes you want to hurry up. It makes you kind of anxious.
Agitated.
Yep.
Agitated and want to get out. Yeah.
So it's like, get your McBurger and get the McFuck out,
One more thing. GT 1982 Mustang said he used to live on Burger King 30 years ago when he was homeless. He said, $1 Whoppers kept me alive.
I can dig it. Anyway, this is what Janos put up here, and we're going to watch this for a minute. This ain't going to get me in trouble, is it?
We might have to skip on this. You might have to. If you have to question it, that means no. That means you're in trouble.
Truth without risk is nothing,
Pre-screen it before you watch it.
Yeah, maybe. Fuck it. Let's see. I'll watch it and keep my eye on it.
A lot of Christians today, especially in Zionist circles, they think that Judaism is about Old Testament. That Judaism is just the Old Testament. All they believe, the Jews, they just believe the Moses law and they practice the law of Moses. They have 613 commandments. Most of these Christians are not familiar with the Talmud, Zohar, and Kabbalah, and where this 613 mitzvot comes from and what they're all about. So I started to study what they're about and what the Talmud teaches, and I noticed that there is actually a plan, there is a plot, and that's a plot against Christianity. Let me bring you one of the books here, The Secret Doctrine in Israel by Waiti. And what it explains is the basically secret doctrine of the Zohar, what is behind Zohar. And you have to understand that the soul of the Talmud is Zohar, and the soul of Zohar is Kabbalah. But in this particular book, I just want to read you a little bit what got me understanding what the plot is against Christianity. It says here, according to the Midrash Talpigoth, the Messiah will bring eternal peace, which of course was understood by the Israelites as peace for Israel, plus that which may follow extermination for all who did not enter by conversion into the house of Jacob. So basically what they teach is that if Gentiles or Christians do not attach themselves to the Jews, they will be exterminated. And of course, we are well known for our Noahide laws, that we brought this to a light. So then you go to Talmud and you start reading what is the plan for Gentiles. You see, Judaism is a two-tier system. Judaism puts the wall of partition back. It's the Jews and non-Jews. And according to Judaism, non-Jews are different species. Now, they are building their own kingdom. It's the Jewish earthly kingdom with headquarters in Jerusalem, where their AI Messiah will be, and they're going to rule the world through the law. It will be international, one law, one religion, basically Luciferian religion. So yes, in a Talmud, this is the Jewish earthly kingdom, and this is why the Zionist Christianity have embraced Kiliism, which is a focus on earthly millennial kingdom. And this is how Jews and Christians are getting together, and Christians are so deceived, thinking that they're working for the good thing, for the Jews, like they're helping the Jews. The Jews are supposed to get this kingdom. Yet this is Zoharic doctrine, and it does not have good intention. As I said, that they want to rule the world, they want to get Gentile riches, and they want to rule the Gentiles. They don't consider Gentiles fully human beings. And in fact, as an end game, they have this strange doctrine, Adam Kadmon doctrine, which Adam Kadmon originally was, according to Zohar and Talmud, he was androgynous. He was male-female in one body. And this is why you see this transgender agenda today. And there are laws, very serious laws, passing in Alberta, Canada.
Is Zionism behind the transgender movement?
Yes, it gets its origin in Zionism, and it gets its origin in the Talmud, Zohar, and Kabbalah. It's a Kabbalistic doctrine of Adam Kadmon, which is eventually they have this doctrine called Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. So how do they want to repair the world? They want to bring it to the original. Who was original Adam? He was androgynous. So now they're putting specific things in food and drink, and they're basically their end game is to make humans that on Earth that will survive whatever it is they're bringing androgynous.
Making the frogs gay.
Yep.
Can't say
You're muted, Sav.
It makes sense. Androgyny. I mean, that really makes a lot of sense, because it does seem to be the agenda that they're pushing. We had the same thing being pushed in Berlin, at the time of the Weimar Republic. So we see that there is obviously some kind of an agenda at hand.
That's why they were kicked out.
Why in the hell would anybody sing that about any damn thing? About we're here for your children. That don't make your hackles go up. I don't know what would.
Yeah.
Holy crap. There's
And
Brian.
they were talking about Kabbalah. What's the religion of the man that leads this country? Yeah, he's a Kabbalist.
Yeah.
There you go.
Many Luciferians, yes.
Or it's a good flood when you need it.
Well, ain't gonna be a flood this time.
I will be debating with Sam, the Jew, on Sunday, the matter of Torah. And it's even worse for him because in Torah, in the matter of Hebrew, there is much more evidence supporting claims that there are two godly entities. And of course, I know his answer. He will be saying that it's wrong translation, it doesn't matter, doesn't mean what you think it means. So mainly, what he'll be doing, he'll be putting himself over the people who spend their whole life in a matter of researching the Hebrew language. So he will put himself as a authority over the Hebrew language. And of course, he will disregard that. That's why he sent 2 videos to me and Keith.
Yeah.
Flatsoid, and we can start with this video and that video because he's prepping the public. So, because the most important is usually what you say at the beginning and at the end, because people usually forget what's in the middle. So,
excuse me, one minute,
yes,
guys.
sure.
Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so he's prepping everyone because he wanna leave influence that people will be swayed in his way, but it won't go so easy because. I will be putting down numbers how many times he refused to concede what's in his own book, Tanakh, Old Testament. So I'll expose him as a deceiver. Sam, I forgot his name, the Jew.
Sam.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So For me, it's very easy. He's supporting. I asked him, the question, and he's supporting genocide in the Gaza, the Palestine, and he's following Talmud.
Yep.
So two of the worst things you can do as a Jew, so-called Jew. So yeah, he's a deceiver. So even if he says some truth, he's obliged to lie to the Christians, and that's what he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good evening, fine fellows.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. Doing all right, man.
What
How's
I'll
things
do this
over?
week,
How's things
I'll
across the
slow
pond?
it down and make it more coherent for my American understanders. Because last week we struggled, didn't we? We struggled last time of getting me Salford accent across. I'm going to slow it down for you this time, boys. Don't worry.
You're fine, man.
And there'll be no disco footballs or anything like that.
I think it's easier for me to understand what you're saying than for American people, from America. Because I get used to this kind of accent. So yeah, it's pretty easy for me to pick up.
Definitely, mate. Honestly, these people are supposed to be speaking English.
I get better at it the more I interact with you online. Like if I'm on a panel with you or something, the more I hear you, I get used to it after a while. But it takes me
I
a
wish
minute.
there was like a crash course what you could take with me, mate. Like a half-an-hour course. It's a tricky one.
Brian, I'm going to fix your talking. I saw
Go on,
this
mate.
all right, I saw this in a movie. All right, repeat after me. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Very good. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Huh? Yeah, it worked. It fucking worked. My mother made me watch that fucking movie about 30, 40 fucking years ago. And
I'll say it how I would speak to it. I'll say it how I would say it to someone around here, yeah? The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
about 3 o'clock.
Spot on, pal.
Brian, let me ask you something. Where your accent is unique? Is everybody in a certain area have the same kind of accent, and when you go to a different place in England, they have a different accent?
Yeah, and some of them are just ridiculous.
Scouse.
Ridiculous. Yeah, the Scouse. It's like 28 miles down the road from me, the Scousers.
That's like Liverpool, right?
Yeah. The Beatles and whatnot. The Mickey Mouse, as we call them.
That's what we call around here too, actually.
You got your cockneys who like to rhyme everything. Even if it makes the word that short word extended loads, they'll use that. But can you say the fucking word, you mad cunt? Sorry about the language, people, about the C word then. It came out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we all have different vernacular. How we pronounce things is different.
D-Man knows.
Oh yeah, man. I catch grief from it everywhere I've ever gone. I mean, the first time I went to the South, the first person I interacted with said, "Boy, where are you from?"
I remember when I used to live down in Texas, they're like, "You're from up north, aren't you?" I was like, "How can you even tell?" They're like, "You talk really fast." I was like, "Oh, I never thought." I never thought I had like an accent or anything, It's like, "No, you talk really fast." It's like, "Oh, I see."
I'm looking for you a video in which is purple burglar alarm. So I know for people from your country, it's very hard to say. I need to find it. I will drop the link. It's pretty awesome.
The first
do you know his accent? I won't wish upon anyone. That creaky blinder.
No,
Have you heard
he's an idiot.
God.
Yeah.
He's Welsh, and he's very deep Welsh. So half of what he says is just like, what? Even to me.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo. In many ways, weird.
He's a fruitcake too, yeah.
I thought you were bringing the video up with the Duffy about sending a balloon up or something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. Wasn't he going to send up a fucking balloon or something?
I also saw. I'm making a prediction. I also saw that Duffy was ending the final experiment or whatever. But I'm predicting that on the 1 year mark from when they went is when they're going to put out that little mockumentary.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll try to make money off of that thing any way you
Yeah.
can, I'm sure.
But I also I put a link in the regular chat there, Sav. You can play it if you want to. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about with how McDonald's kind of tricks everybody into, if you feel like it, otherwise don't worry about it.
Yeah, let me take a look at it.
It's an all beef patty. What
2 all beef patties, special sauce, pickles, cheese, lettuce, onions, tomatoes on a sesame seed bun.
Yeah.
MC Donald.
That was drilled into your head by commercial repetition when I was a kid.
You can probably skip to like 43 seconds in.
Sounds good, but no, it's trash.
Brian, what nationality? What's your nationality background? Are you Irish or?
I'm English, born in England, but half my family are from Ireland, so
yeah.
I'm a bit of both.
Yeah, same here.
I found it, but it's on YouTube. I couldn't find my channel. It's a few seconds, but it's great.
Oh, this will definitely. It'll be
Fast food restaurants didn't truly take off until American families began embracing a lifestyle centered around driving. As people migrated from bustling cities to suburbs, the demand for quick on-the-go meals skyrocketed. This shift turned fast food into a natural extension of this new, fast-paced lifestyle. The drive-thru concept originated in the 1940s, with the first known drive-thru window opened by Red's Giant Hamburg in Springfield, Missouri in 1947. However, it was McDonald's that brought the drive-thru to the mainstream fast food market in 1975, revolutionizing the dining experience. McDonald's introduced the drive-thru to cater to customers who preferred quick service without leaving their vehicles, especially during the busy lunch hours. Initially, the drive-in was the go-to format for dining out. Think of those classic scenes from old movies featuring diners with waitresses gliding on roller skates, taking orders from the comfort of parked cars. The drive-in was more than just a meal. It was a social event, a popular destination for date nights and family gatherings. However, the introduction of the drive-thru marked a significant shift. Unlike the drive-in, the drive-thru was designed for speed and efficiency. No parking, no waiting, and no lingering. You simply ordered, picked up your food, and continued on your way. This innovation reflected the changing norms of American life, where convenience reigned supreme. Today, the drive-thru is not just a feature. It's a fundamental part of the fast food experience. A recent poll revealed that 47% of Americans would refuse to patronize a fast food restaurant without a drive-thru. That's a staggering statistic. McDonald's says that their drive-thrus account for a whopping 70% or more of their total U.S. revenue. But that's not simply the result of consumer demand or luck. The design behind drive-thru's success is much deeper than it looks. Let's look at how you get pulled in from a design standpoint. The first thing that brings in customers into any business is attention. These fast food chains are well aware of that. That's why attention-grabbing elements are heavily used on the side of the roads or highways, all in saturated, bright colors contrasting with the scenery. Your eyes can't simply escape them while driving. But what happens when you decide to take that right to get you a McDouble? Drive-thrus are designed into zones, and each zone is optimized to influence your decision-making. So this is you pulling up to the entry zone, that first part where you're making your way from the street to the ordering point. Fast food spots lay out everything in their parking lots to make sure you know exactly where to go. Signs and arrows guiding your way. There's no room for confusion. It might seem like a small detail, but it's all about removing any bumps in the road that could slow you down. In behavioral science, it's called friction, and the less friction, the more likely you are to grab that burger. Drive-thrus don't want you to think about making a
It's all the placement of those, they've got like a little signs advertising what they got. They show you those first, and then the menu and the biggest things you're going to see on that menu. And of course you're already in a hurry because, oh my God, there's people behind me. I got to hurry up. I'll have a number and you pick by what it looks like. I'll have a number 4 and they'll say, do you want to supersize it? And most people say, yeah, what the fuck, go ahead, and realize that it's not really a deal. They never realize that, but they'll go ahead and do that, and that's how they do it. It's pressure. It's pressure buying.
That's what, when you mentioned that thing about how you put the coffee what'd you say? You put the coffee on the burner or whatever, and it got the smell out. Yeah, that's what kind of got me thinking about this.
Let me ask you something quick, Soph. Have you, or anybody here, have you ever been in line and then they tell you, okay, I'll be with you in a minute, and you're sitting there for a couple of minutes and the people behind you start beeping?
Yep.
And you're like, it isn't me, I'm waiting for them.
Right. Yeah, I just turned my radio up.
And all this design is called.
You're not able to see me in a drive-through.
I haven't been in years.
All this design, which is McDonald's, all these fast foods, all the interior as well, even all the shops. When, for example, they place bread close to the entrance because it has a specific smell. Yes, and then you're getting hungry and you spend more. It's called the art of benchmarking.
Cookies and stuff that can smell through the packages. Chocolate, they put it all at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's also what Saab was saying earlier about Burger King. They used to actually cook their burgers, and now they put that stuff on there that makes it smell like they're cooking fresh food.
Yes.
And the premium spot is eye level to your target.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eye level to your target. That's why they put all that shit for kids. They have them in those little low bins right there at the fucking checkout. Yeah, because then you're trying to concentrate on ringing up and how much getting your coupons and whatever else is going on.
And they're grabbing stuff. Can I buy this? Can I buy this?
Oh, yeah.
Can I get this?
Can I get this little chocolate bar? Yeah.
And there is another trick. For example, you go to the shop. Usually, you know where the products are placed, which you buy usually. But then after 3-4 weeks, what the fuck it is? Because they change the design.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have to go around the shop to find it. And meanwhile, your eyes will stop on something and you buy something more.
Yep. That's exactly right. That's like a friend of mine's, this was a couple of years ago, close to around Easter time. And he stopped by and had his little girl with him. And his little girl says, "Look what I got, Dave." And I says, what do you got there? She says, "Look at it. It was a stuffed Easter bunny." And I says, "Wow, where'd you get that?" And she says, "We got it up at the Food Lion," which is the name of the grocery store up here. I says, "Wait a minute. You went to Food Lion to get a stuffed Easter bunny?" And she said, "No." And I says, "Well, I'm a little confused. How'd you end up with a stuffed Easter bunny from the Food Lion if you didn't go to the Food Lion to get a stuffed Easter bunny?" And she goes, "Well, because when we walked in, I saw it right there at the front of the door as soon as we walked in." And I says, "Oh." I said, "So getting that stuffed Easter bunny wasn't really your idea, was it?" And she goes, "Well, yes, it was." And I said, "No, it wasn't. Because if that Easter bunny wasn't there, you would have never, ever thought about getting one, would you?"
Yeah.
I said, "Did you want it?" I said, "Think about it." I told her, I says, "Think about it, Maddie." I says, "What? It was right at the same level as your eyes, wasn't it?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "It was right there as you walked in the door and you saw that and you thought, I want that, right?" I said, "They gave you that idea because up until that moment, you had no intention of having a stuffed Easter bunny at all, did you?" And she looked and she said, you could tell she figured it out that, oh my God, they tricked me. You know?
They're not putting the boxes of artichokes at the front door.
No, that's why they put all your essentials like milk and everything towards the back, so you got to walk past all these other things before you get to what you really need.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's why Walmart moves their shit around all the time.
Yep, you have to walk around like every
moving
aisle.
Yeah, because you got to go and hunt it down, and like D-Man was saying, you got to hunt it down, and then you're going to walk by more stuff, and you're going to probably buy it. I think Janusz said that too. It's like, it's product placement. It's product placement, and they do it to you constantly. You're watching a TV show, a movie, whatever, and if you notice, anytime they're drinking a soda or something like that, if it's like a Coca-Cola, that the whole label of Coke is facing directly toward you in the shot. Whole label and you don't really think about it. Oh, that guy's drinking a Coke, but that went in subliminally. That went into your subconscious, right? That Coca-Cola, and it's that repetition of seeing something, hearing about it that's going to stimulate you to buy it.
Probably
you get somebody in agreement with something, they're easier to sway into selling.
Probably you know about this, but if you wanna find things which have longer expiration date, they usually be
in the back.
Will be on the back, yes.
Right. Yeah, because they
want
to get
the short one.
They want to get rid of their stock that they already have right off the bat.
Right.
I always switch by default to the back if I'm going to buy something.
I always check the expiration date.
Me too.
I always just reach for the back. I just reach for the back and trust.
Having worked in that, and I know why they do product rotation, it's necessary. I also ask myself this question here. Okay, the expiration date on this milk is such and such a date. Am I liable to use that milk up before that date? Fuck it, I'll get it. You know, if I'm questionable on it, then I might reach toward the back to get the other ones. But I know why they do it, and if everybody did that, we'd end up throwing away so much fucking milk.
Yeah,
it's the FIFO rule. It's first in, first out. Like you do want to get rid of your,
there are two ways
inventory.
How you can as well see it. It's expiration date and best before.
Yeah.
So it means you can still eat it after the date.
Yeah.
But expiration date expired, shouldn't be touching that stuff.
Well, I would always tell them in the dairy section when I worked there. I was like, okay, here's what you do: keep it fronted, keep it looking full, but don't put any of the newer stuff out until so much of this one is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, and that limits the amount that people are not apt to buy because it has a newer or a closer expiration date to it.
So here's another one. Sometimes you look and you see that there isn't many left, and you think, "Oh shit, there's not many left. Let me get a second one."
Yeah,
and you'll do that too. Sometimes people will say, "Well, I only wanted one, but they only had 3 on the shelf, so I grabbed 2." You know, that's.
Especially if the storm's coming. I've never understood that. Everybody goes,
"Oh, I gotta go get bread and milk."
Bread and milk.
We're gonna die. I need bread and milk.
Shit paper.
Yeah, toilet paper. Do you remember when the I'm not going to say the full name at the beginning, and everybody went to the store and started buying toilet paper, and there was no toilet paper, and I thought to myself, this hasn't even hit yet, and people are the first priority is let's go and buy all the toilet paper.
It doesn't, dude. That didn't even make sense at all.
I know.
It didn't make sense at all. Man, there was no toilet paper shortage. They just filled back inventory.
Instead of buying things which they have a long shelf life, they buy shit. That's why they buy toilet paper.
Throughout the whole period, there's some crazy shit going on, wasn't there? You had people going swimming in the sea with masks on.
Oh my God, I know. Look, I think about some of the crazy shit they had. Now, you know, wow. You remember the people making fucking like a bubble helmet out of those water bottles and shit? With the respirator. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
People with welding masks on. I saw a woman who literally just put a trash bag, like one of those clear trash bags, over a kid. And oh my God,
it gave you insight into what people's priorities are and how well they had survived in a real situation.
Yeah, it was a clear educational fucking lesson in who's who.
Yeah. We heard, and the sheep heard, trust the science. The word science is all they need. That's all they need. There doesn't even have to be any science about it. Just if somebody says, science, that people just straighten up and go, oh, that must be. And it's like, you don't even understand. What do you mean, trust the science? Science is always questioned. That's what it is.
I was constantly banned on Facebook for trying to put the truth out there. And even when you put the truth out there, barely anyone looks at it anyway.
Yeah.
And you to look at it, and you're just thinking, at the end of it, you're thinking, lemons, just follow each other off the cliff, and I'm not bothered.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a bunch of them on Facebook that are freaking out like Wesley did today over the exact same topic. They're really having a hard time with reconciling those violations of entropy, violations of conservation of energy regarding gravity. And when I tried to get numbnuts Wesley to understand that time is a concept, it isn't a physical object or a thing that can be bent. Space-time, that's just a made-up bullshit. Okay? So I was trying to get through to him. I said, there is no such thing as the past. The past is a memory. It's in your mind. There is only perpetual now. Yeah. The future is in your imagination, and the past is in your recollection. both of which reside in your mind and are not anywhere to be found. So there is only perpetual now. We use a concept of time to coordinate our movements and actions with one another. It doesn't really exist. It's a concept based on the movement of the sun. This is why we call it units of hours, from the word Horus. This is where we get hours from.
Our life is based on the seasons.
Yeah.
So you're going through the seasons one time a year. You're going through the seasons one time a year, wherever you live, whatever seasons you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's always now.
Yes. Yeah, you're in that space.
Yeah, it's always your perception.
You remember what the seasons were, or what the storms you had, or the places you were, or the people you were around, or the people that were still alive. That's memory.
That's right. It doesn't exist. It's just recollection.
Yes.
We have events that take place in the perpetual now, and we denote them through memories and recollections.
What we're doing right now, having this conversation or being in this, we are in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But tomorrow it's going to be a memory.
Yes, because we'll remember it, or we'll think about it, or we'll say, "Oh, he talked about that. Let me go look it in."
When we began this conversation is only a memory.
Yes.
Yeah. All past tense verbs.
So I'm like, how do you bend a concept? You can't.
How do you bend a memory?
And even if you could, how does that cause gravity? How is that making energy to create a force? It's not. It's just you trying to bamboozle people with a bunch of theoretical mathematical bullshit. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's not science. People think math is science. No, mathematics is used in science. Mathematics is used to describe numerically a hypothesis. Yes, absolutely. But mathematics in itself is not reality.
Here
like
comes Star Trek.
Example before, if I have 3 pink unicorns and I add 2 pink unicorns, it makes 5 pink unicorns, right? Does that mean that pink unicorns exist? No, it doesn't. Even though the math checks out, it doesn't mean that the pink unicorns exist.
That's why I think they love Star Trek, because they are warping their minds.
Real quick, Sov, Dreamy Lynn said yes. She said yes, sales are mostly psychological manipulation.
They are. They
Totally.
100% are. One of the things I would do as a salesman is I would get the customer that I was talking to just innocuously by talking and chatting them up to keep responding in the affirmative by asking obvious questions. Like, man, isn't it a beautiful day out? Yes, yes. Everything is answer yes. Get them used to saying yes, so that when you ask them, do they want a sign, they'll say yes. Keep using your pen as an instrument to point things out and to talk with, and as a gesturing piece, because then it takes away the shock at the time when they go to sign it. Because when you pull out the pen, it's like, oh, now this is real. We've had the pen out the whole time. So that
pressure
doesn't become a factor into it, you see. Yeah, but gentle pressure, pressure.
It's almost like when someone slides a paper to you and then taps the pen down onto the paper. That's putting pressure on you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
that shit
don't work
on me. In the background.
Look, I think somebody just came backstage, man.
Santa? Oh,
I don't know.
One more thing. The Akinator said that the smell that Burger King kicks out when you drive by it, he said it's liquid smoke.
Really?
Yeah,
Liquid
it
smoke.
is.
Hey, look who we got, you guys. We got Andrew up here. Look at here.
Hey guys, good evening to everyone. How do you do? And in regards to this kind of stuff, I went through sales training a while back, and yeah, there's like these different tricks that they get to use. And every single car salesman, they have to go through like 3 weeks of like hardcore sales training. But also when it comes to the grocery stores, what they did a long time, I saw a documentary on this, where what they did is they would monitor like through security cameras and stuff, and based on where the products are placed and how colorful the bags and products are, Well, they found that people are about 70% more likely to buy the product if they actually touch it. It's fucking weird. They have to actually touch it.
Yeah. The stuff that is behind a counter and you really can't, it doesn't sell, behind like a glass case, it doesn't sell as quickly. No, you're right. I believe that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did one. Dreamy, I'll get with you here in just a second. I when I was selling timeshares, I would use those techniques like that, and I was going along. And one of the things too is especially with selling timeshares, you're selling the vacation, right? That's what you're selling. And so usually they're there with their wife and or kids. Okay. So you're taking them around on a tour of the resort and you're getting them to answer questions in the affirmative. And isn't that fun? Wouldn't that be fun to be able to do that, kids? Yeah. Get the kids and the wife really involved with it. Right. And then when I asked the guy, don't you think that your family's at least worth something like this? What's he going to do? Say, no, they're right there.
Yeah.
Right. So he's going to agree with me. And the family's going to go, oh, he thinks we're worth this. That means he'll probably get it. Can we get it, Daddy? Can we get it?
Pressure.
So I did that one time though, and I didn't know the guy was just there for the free trip and he was a timeshare salesman with another company. And I didn't know that. So he was just playing along with my whole thing, right?
Yeah,
so I
bet he was just like, you did a good job.
His wife was in the back seat. And he's sitting next to me in the passenger seat. And we're traveling along. And I remember that, man. We were going up to see the bowl where they have the skiing down. The whole ski slope is like a bowl inside of a mountain, almost like a volcanic thing. And we're driving up there, and I says, don't you think your wife's worth something like this? And he just looked at me serious as a judge and says, not until she learns to swallow. And I went, what? And I'm thinking, what the fuck do I do with that? I'm trying to, do I turn around and say, so do we have a deal? Or how do I deal with that, right?
Pull a pamphlet out.
We both just busted out laughing. Then he told me that he was really, and he says, come on. He said, I'll buy the drinks and shit. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Hey, speaking of timeshares, once in a while I know that there's spam callers because iPhone or whatever, they kind of warn you ahead of time. Oh, potential spam caller. But I'll answer it once in a while just to fuck with them to get me off their call list. And it's so often that they say, oh, hello, Andrew Baker. We have an update about your timeshare and the reduced costs of your maintenance fees. I was like, oh, that's super awesome. Which one?
Right.
I have 3 of them.
I've done that with the car warranty thing. Which vehicle?
Yeah.
I made my parents sell their timeshares because they can pass those fees off to the kids once they're gone. And I was like, you better get rid of those things because I ain't paying for that shit when you're gone.
They're big.
I don't use those things. I don't ever want to use them.
Real quick, Andrew, you mentioned the thing about not being able to touch something that things behind the glass don't sell.
Well, yeah, it was just I wouldn't call it a documentary, but it was at least a video presentation showing that how marketing, they've determined by different types of colors and things like that, and also product placement.
Yeah.
And the companies will actually pay for that kind of stuff to be put in certain spots.
Yep.
I know this. I worked in retail when I was in high school.
End caps. A lot of times they want certain spots like end caps.
Mm-hmm.
Where the ends of the aisles where you would walk around to go to the next one. Did you notice that a lot of these stores in a lot of states are now putting everything behind glass cabinets so that you can't touch them at all, and they're wired so you can't grab them and rip them off the wall?
Yeah, some things, but like I'm going to Home Depot right now, and one of the things I'm going to have to add, I have to press that service button for them to come out and just like, hey, I need a Milwaukee battery. I'm going there for that, switches and cover plates. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I hate that place.
I
know.
I mean, I hate Lowe's more.
Yeah. Well, it's if you walk into that place, it's like they put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, man. It's like every aisle so compacted together and everything. But anyway.
Wow, look at that, look at that, look at this, look at that. You were there for fucking 2 minutes to get something. If I walk in there, I have to be laser beam focused on where
I know,
it is.
same here. Same here.
Otherwise, I'll walk out with shit.
Well, last time I was there, I got a 7 1/4 inch cordless skill saw, and the guy went. It's behind a little cage, and I says, I want to get one of those right there, and he went, he got one. Comes back and he says, which register are you checking out at? And I said, I don't know, I'm not done shopping yet, man. And he goes, well, I have to put this up there as a register. And I says, why? He says, because people walk right out with this. And I said, do you see this little laser distance measure? You see this little DeWalt thing? It's like $35, and I can fit like 4 of them in my pocket. I just took it off the shelf and it's in my fucking cart. How come that doesn't have to go up there? Don't people walk out with those?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what you say to those checkout people. Because one time, one of the girls was checking me out, and you know how they look to check and see if the bills are fake or whatever. It's like, I just printed those this morning, and she looked at me. She almost didn't want to check me out anymore. I was like, it was a total joke, man. I was just kidding.
So also in regards to product placement, I was at over here. We have this place called Lucky, Lucky Grocery Market, in Albertsons, and it's owned by fucking I don't know who the fuck owns it. But I was there and I was walking. I was over by the area where they have medication and shit, and there was the store manager and the assistant manager, and there was some young girl. I'm gonna say she was probably 30, and you could tell she worked for corporate and had a marketing degree, and she was like, okay, these products have to be moved in a certain location, and I stood back for a moment and just kind of listened, and I was like, oh fuck, the store manager and the assistant manager have no control of that at all. And I was like, that's kind of how I went when I worked at Big Five Sporting Goods in high school.
So I got something for you that's gonna just get you to shake your head. Look at the last link on the private chat. That's the new Whopper.
Is this that one?
Who was the genius that come up with this?
Man, come
Who's
on.
the genius that come up with this?
Hang on, I gotta show this just a second.
Oh my god.
The Pride Whopper. You gotta be kidding me.
Look at the buns. Look at the buns.
Come on.
2 bottoms and 2 tops.
The fuck is this?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say that when we were watching that thing too. It's ironic.
Oh my god.
These companies are the same companies. If you go and get a Happy Meal, it's like, do you want a girl toy or a boy toy? And it's like, oh, there's no they toys. That's weird.
No.
I have to pick between boy and girl. That's weird. But you want to push all this, you can be anything crap.
Somebody sat there and actually said, this is a great idea. Let's make it so it has 2 top buns and the other one has 2 bottoms. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Why not put it the top on the bottom, and the bottom on the top?
You can do whatever you want, buddy.
I mean,
yeah,
have it your way.
Why not? Yeah, have it your way.
That's it. Have it your way. There's Dreamy Lynn come up here to see us tonight. What's happening, babe?
Good evening.
Good evening, Dreamy. It's been a while.
Hey, Dreamy.
Yeah, it's been a while. The reason I brought up that sales and marketing and all that is just psychological is because I sent my kids and my sister, they went to a bazaar selling some stuff and whatnot. And I was running a little late, so I show up later. And when I get there, they have everything on the table. They'd been there for about 30 minutes before I got there. They hadn't sold nothing. People was walking around, had stuff in their arms and whatnot. They'd come by, they looked interested, but they'd walk on by. I took all the boxes out from under the table and cleared half of what was on top of the table off. And then people started just kind of buying it faster than I could put it back up almost. And it was because it looked like it was almost gone. if you manipulate somebody's mind, and stores do this all the time, they'll like put just a little bit of cereal boxes on the aisle, and you'll think, oh my goodness, the cereal's almost gone. So they'll leave that shelf like that, and periodically people will bring stuff out of the back and put it up there. That's when sales are slow. So just because you see an empty shelf does not mean that there's none left. They may even tell you, oh, well, we don't have any of that, because they don't want you to see them go and getting it.
Yeah.
It's trickery.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's trickery with the
Think they're getting a
inventory.
bargain. If people think they're getting a bargain, they'll buy that bargain, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't even think about it. I remember one time my uncle had a table at the flea market, and I went there with him, and he had this little box, and he was selling magnets. They were 25 cents a piece, right? Had a sign on them even. And this guy come up and he asked, he says, how much are the magnets? I said, they're 25 cents a piece or 3 for $1. He says, I'll take 3 and hand me $1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our Albertsons, I don't know if y'all have Albertsons or remember whenever they went for 10 for $10, right?
Yeah.
The sale. Well, apple juice for the big 2-quart jug was 98 cents.
Right.
And now they're going to sell them to me 10 for $10.
So
I
it's
told
$1.
them, I told them, no, I want them at regular price. And they're like, well, they're on sale. And I said, no, they're not. You jacked them up 2 cents. That's not a sale price. They did the same thing with avocados that were $1.49 a piece, and they charging $2 for $3. And I'm like, no, I want them at regular price. And I kept telling them I want them. I kind of upset them.
If you wanna always win, you can
mother-in-law-
use this kind of phrase: tails, I am winning; heads, you are losing.
Well, I've been in sales, so I
mother-in-law-
know how it works.
My mother-in-law worked at a grocery store, and she would, on things like that, she would try to tell the people that she was checking out that wasn't a deal. Let me ring it up at regular price. You save money. And they would actually get angry at her and fight with her. No, I want the sale price. Okay.
Right.
You know, it's like, wow, what the fuck, man?
I call those rip-off sales. Those aren't sales at all.
Right. Of course.
I
Let me tell you guys a quick little story that's pretty funny. Then I'm going to have to go on mute after that. I'm about to pull into Home Depot. But when I heard about how Target, and I hate Target, I'll never shop there. But I heard how Target was...
It's Target. It's Target. You know, we class it up a little bit.
So when I heard about how they were putting all of these particular types of clothing, children's clothing, that was like associated with the whole transgender nonsense, I didn't believe it. So I went down to my local Target, which is only like, I don't know, 2 miles away or something. And I was like, holy shit, they're actually doing it. So I went and got a shopping cart, and I loaded up as much stuff as I possibly could in that shopping cart. And then I just walked around the store and just put a whole bunch of other stuff into the shopping cart on top of it. And then just moved it to the back of the store and just left.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
I think it was Target that just dropped their price match deal too. Everybody's all bent out of shape over that. I don't even go to places like that.
I don't go to Target.
I think Target actually ended up removing all of that stuff because
in some states they did, not all of them, just in certain states. They did it up here.
The Bible Belt. Just through the Bible Belt.
They did it up here too. The one down in Salem, New Hampshire. People were out there holding signs and stuff. Big ruckus.
Sometimes when they do, for example, they buy, let's say, 6-pack or 12-pack of Coke, which, let's say, costs them $10, but they will make a promotion for $8, which is undercutting the price. Why? Because they introduce it, they make a big fuss about it. People hear it, oh, it's a great price. Right, they come to buy it because it's below the cost, it's very cheap. But then, because people are already there, they buy more shit. And that's what really makes them earning money. That's how they influence people. Because you're already in the shop, so you're buying a lot of other crap. So that's why it's important to come with a list what you're going to buy. and only go by your list.
Listen, man. RPB 69 said Kmart blue light special, dude. Those, I was in the fucking Kmart high as a giraffe's ass, and it fucking blue light went off, man. I freaked out, man. I thought for a second, I was, oh fuck, it's the cops. It's the cops act white, man.
Run, self, run.
As we used to say it all the time, man. It's the cops act white.
Well, one of the things that I learned in sales was whenever I started my business and was selling custom crafts out of my home, I was selling them more than I thought they were, more than I had in them, way more. You know, I mean, like instead of just 3 times, I had like some of them 5 and 6 times more. And I was still undercutting everybody, was able to sell more. And I did the same thing with Avon and became Avon's #1 seller in my first 4 weeks. And so much so, it blew their mind and sent the head of Avon down to give me my diamond Avon pen. But that's because I just observe, and you can see what people are doing when they're shopping. If I go in, I go in, I get what I need. If I think of other things, I'll be thinking while I'm in there, what else is missing at home? You know, do I need it? Do they have a decent price on it? Whatever. And I don't shop because this product over here says $2 on it, just using that as an example, when I can get something for $3 that's twice the size, because then I get twice as much, right, for $1 less. And you see other people, oh, well, this one's only $2. And I'm like, yeah, but you only get a small amount and you're paying more for it. If you get this one for $3, you're getting twice the amount. Yeah. And they don't get it, some of them. You could bump them on the head with it, and they just don't get it. They see the dollar amount only, not the price per ounce or price per unit or whatever.
Well, my biggest problem is because of my life philosophy of everything begins with a bong hit. I get to the grocery store and I about forget why I needed to go to the grocery store, and I can only wonder what the checkout, is thinking when I'm buying this shit, man, because I'm like walking
randomness, total random buys.
Smoked Gouda cheese, yeah, good, you're like, oh, you see then you go by, yeah, oh, this is where the peanut butter and jelly's at, yeah, let's see what else they got down here, And then
I've been there too, because then I get home,
all the way up to the
why the fuck did I buy that?
I get all the way up to the checkout before I realize I'm like, I forgot the very thing. Where's the milk? I didn't get the milk. That's why I come up here. I forgot all about the fucking milk, and I got candy bars and popcorn and all kinds of shit in my car.
I'm
giving it up. See, that's the worst part. I ain't gonna give it. I ain't gonna go, oh fuck, I was just high and did it. No, it's just like it'll be all right, man, because you'll need that shit later.
You will need it later.
I make a handwritten list and I stick with that.
That's what I do.
I try to do that same thing. I make a handwritten list, but I will if I smoke a little bit too much.
I'm guilty of doing that every time I go to the shop.
That's because you make a list don't mean you can't add shit to it now.
Yeah, I do wonder. I do tend to wonder.
Hey, have you guys ever been at the checkout?
Look, it's a whole cake made out of fucking marshmallow peeps. We have to have it.
Have you guys been at the checkout and all of a sudden the register, the cashiers and stuff at the grocery store I go to, they know me by name now. But sometimes, I'll go in there super baked and I'll just put be like tortillas, broccoli, peanut butter, and fucking something weird. And they're like, "Oh, what are you making tonight?" I don't know.
Doesn't matter. The most important is what comes after that. What's that? Diarrhea.
I hate to shop, so I want to get whatever I need right then and there and get out.
You remember when Walmart was open 24 hours, man? I thought it'd be pretty funny to go in there and just go up to the checkout, with like some rope, and a bag of lime and some garbage bags, some bleach, some rubber gloves, a shovel, and shit. And if anybody gets suspicious, that would be funny as fuck.
Cold medicine.
It's like that. It's like that scene. It's like that scene.
While you're paying for it, just stare at the floor.
Yeah. Try not to look down. Ski mask. Yeah.
Reminds me of that scene in Half Baked. You ever seen Half Baked? When he goes to the grocery store, he's like, "Yeah, man, get me some sour cream chips and beef jerky." And he goes, "Oh yeah, and Haagen-Dazs."
You remember Pedro and the man at the drive-in?
Oh yeah.
The Cheech and Chong, and it's like, oh man, he says, oh wow, you're never gonna guess what happened. He said, the key broke off in the lock. Oh my god, how did you know, man? He says, well, we got to get those guys out of there. He's like, I'll go up to he says, we need a crowbar or something, man. He says, we'll go see if you can find one. So he's gone a long time, and he comes back, and Cheech is like, did you get a crowbar? And he says, no, man, but I got a Milky Way and some popcorn here. Hold this. Don't make me spill it. Here's your drink. And he's like, no, man, a crowbar for the trunk. And he's like, oh, wow, man, I forgot about those guys in the trunk. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's watch a little bit more of this fucking McDonald's. Cubby, did you have something?
Last thing in the same kind of context, in the movie Dumb and Dumber, I swear I'm going on mute after this. But in the movie Dumb and Dumber, when he sends Jim Carrey goes to the store, only the bare essentials. I mean, he comes out with a fucking like a 12 hat, a fucking sombrero hat,
snow cones,
big gulp.
That's all I need. All I need. I don't need anything. Well, I need
just this ashtray and this chair.
Thank you, Saul, for letting me come up and explain that.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna head out and just be in the chat, okay?
All right,
good
babe.
to see you, Jimmy.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right,
I'm
good
just
night.
in chat.
And give a keeper a kiss for me. This is the cutest little freaking child.
Yeah, I will. All right.
That was cool. We took Moonshadow for a ride in the Jeep this evening. Get her used to riding in the Jeep because she don't ever go anywhere. She's got a big backyard and everything.
Did she like it?
She was real good. Took her to get ice cream. We went to the ice cream store. And she was so well behaved in the Jeep. She barked when she saw another dog while we were there, but she does that because she barks at the dogs. They bark at each other next door, run up and down the fence. But it was really wild. I got her a cup of ice cream. She took like 2 licks of it, and that was it. She didn't want no more of it. She was like, what is this? This is weird. I don't want this.
We took Keeper to the park last weekend, and I'm sitting there. I wasn't thinking. I'm just sitting there talking to everyone, and then Keeper saw a squirrel, so he went so fast, he pulled me off backwards off the bench.
Oh my God.
I landed on the ground. I was like, are you okay? I go, yeah. I was so not expecting that. But he was actually really good. This one guy tried to walk up to him, and then he kind of gave a little bit of a low growl, and the guy goes, oh, cows are mean. And I said, no, he just doesn't know you. And so I'd rather you didn't approach him.
Yeah.
But he was very good.
Leash I got goes like around you. It goes like I can sling it across my shoulder, and then it comes together into a leash. And that way it's really a lot easier. It keeps your hands free when you're, carrying other stuff, and you can just, guide her with a little bit and, move the hand.
Yeah.
But it really frees things up. When she lunges, I got my whole body, not just my arm, my whole body.
Does she use a collar or a harness?
Harness. I put him in a harness.
Yeah. I have to keep her in a harness because he can just wiggle out of his collar. No,
I don't like that when
to death.
I don't like it when they get that pulling on their neck and shit like that. Harness
me neither.
Easier.
So I use harness. Well,
plus it's got a little handle on the back of it, so I can pick them up if I need to.
Right. All right. Talk with you later.
All right, there.
See you, Jeremy.
Yeah, and it's got a little compartment for poop bags, which is it dispenses them like a tissue out the back too. It's
My
pretty
dog
interesting.
chases the rabbits. You see, we have wild rabbits all over the place over here. In the daytime, they go up on the lawn and eat all the little stuff in the lawn, and the dog freaks out every time. But we got one of those invisible fence things, so the dog doesn't go running off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He doesn't run past it because he can feel it make the little vibration noise. But you could tell that if that thing wasn't there, man, and that rabbit took off, he'd be running for it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even think about it. It wouldn't matter where that thing would go. He'd chase it a mile. I think he sees it as a toy. I don't think he sees it like he wants to eat it. I think he wants to just play with it.
Yeah. Peanut tried to play with some bunnies she found out here in the yard under the deck, and it didn't end up too well with bunnies.
Real quick, our old dog that passed away a couple of years ago, she let him out at night, because he knows not to go anywhere. He's a really good dog, and he went around the side, and I think that's exactly what happened. I think he thought it was something else, and he walked over to it and got sprayed right in the face. It was a skunk.
Oh,
He didn't walk over and bark at it or try to kill it. He just walked over like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And the thing just turned around and sprayed him.
We've been lucky. We've been really lucky here with that, because there's all manner of critter. We've had bear walk down through the neighborhood before.
Yeah, we got them here too. Moose, elk, deer. I see deer all the time.
I like where I live. That's a good thing. Anyway, let's see what McDonald's, how they fuck us.
Decision. Instead, they do the decision making for you. Moving on to the next zone of the drive-through layout. This is where most of the magic happens. The first tactic they use nowadays is the dual lane pre-order zone, which simply splits the waiting line in two. This is made purposefully for two main reasons. The first reason is to give you an illusion that the waiting line is shorter than it actually is. In fact, in most drive-thrus, there's only one person taking orders from both lines, but the lane split kind of manipulates you into thinking the waiting time is going to be cut in half, when it's clearly not the case. And the weird thing is, even if you already know about it, you're still going to be subconsciously falling for it. The other smart thing about the dual lane pre-order zone is that it makes sure the line doesn't creep.
Real quick, the Chick-fil-A thing there, they've showed that. They were just showing a Chick-fil-A from the top. And what they do is actually to give you the illusion of expedience is that they have a guy, instead of you talking into a speaker, you tell a guy what you want, and they tell somebody in their headphones what you ordered.
Yeah, they got the guy out there on the iPad or on his little tablet thing, and then they charge you right then too before you even get to the window, and then they take your name, but it is like double the wait time than it used to be.
Out onto the main road, which could ultimately block traffic.
All those things. If we are speaking about food and fast food and so on, I have put a short video for the KFC. We can watch it later. Just a couple of seconds. It's a comedian, but pretty fucking good.
All right.
Where the line doesn't creep out onto the main road, which could ultimately block traffic and, most importantly, eliminate any discouraged drivers from pulling up to the drive-thru and reconsider your decision to get food. Something drive-thru joints definitely don't want you to do. This may seem insignificant, but data shows otherwise. The more the driver taps in on impulsive behavior, the more drive-thru visits people make. Now, once you're blocked by the cars behind and in front of you, the second main reason kicks in. This is when things get interesting. For drive-thrus, the pre-order zone is basically an advertisement zone. This is where they try to influence you into buying more stuff. Just like they use the illusion of convenience to lure you in, here they pull the novelty illusion on you. How? Well, it's both genius and simple. When you're stuck in the pre-order zone waiting to place an order, you're more likely to look around out your window while thinking about what you'll be ordering in a minute. Those moments or minutes are extremely important to fast food companies. That's when you're most vulnerable to impulsive behavior and indecisiveness. And there's nothing drive-thrus love more than an impulsive buyer with money in his hands. So here's the deal. Fast food joints slap up all kinds of signage in the drive-thru to catch your eye with new and exciting menu items. And there's a good reason for this. We're all pretty much hardwired to love novelty, just like we do with convenience. It's called novelty bias, and it means that our brains get super excited by new and shiny things. When you see something fresh and different, your brain releases dopamine. So
the McRib! Oh, the McRib is here. For a limited time only.
I wanted
While
to
you
say
might
something
just
real
cruise
quick.
past a
What?
I wanted to say something real quick. You know what's funny? Like if you want to pay with cash, man, it's like when you go through like Chick-fil-A, if you want to pay with cash, they make it so difficult for you.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Everybody's making it like that. They're
Like,
also under the
they
feign of counterfeiting. They go in there and they so when you pay with cash, because it was quicker than doing your card, you pay with cash. Now they got all the clerks got to run some kind of a little counterfeit pen across each one of the bills. And that's really cool
Exactly.
because when they give me back change, I say, let me see your little pen there for a minute. And I go through every bit of money that they gave me back in change.
Oh, do you do that? Oh, that's funny,
Yeah.
man. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
you don't trust my money. I don't trust yours either.
There you go.
I've never even thought about doing that.
Yeah. Everybody ought to do it. I'm serious and use cash as much as possible.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So
That's
real
good.
quick, I threw a joke video. When this video is done, play the one that says joke. That's a pretty good one. Because it has something to do with exactly what we're watching here.
Oh, cool. Cool.
boring ad for a regular hamburger, if a new fun item pops up, you're way more likely to take notice. It's all about grabbing your attention and making you go, wow, I need to try that. Fast food places are masters at this, and they know how to keep your cravings alive. If you're already in line to eat fast food, and if it was a totally impulsive decision like it is for most people, then you may be in the mood to treat yourself. According to this, Ipsos poll is one of the major emotional drivers of impulse buys. Some fast food chains have started using anti-glare film on their menu boards, which means you can't see the options until you're right up close. This clever tactic increases the chances that you'll act impulsively. When you can't view the menu until you're almost at the order point, you're forced to make quick decisions or risk holding up the line. This sense of urgency is a powerful behavioral trigger. Studies show that when things feel urgent, you're much more likely to make impulsive choices rather than think them through. If you're sitting in line, calmly considering your options, you're engaging in what's called System 2 thinking, which is more rational and thought out. But when urgency kicks in, you switch to System 1 thinking, which is more about quick, instinctive decisions. This shift significantly increases the likelihood that you'll add extra items to your order. Now moving on to the next phase of the drive-thru layout, the order zone. This is when customers make their orders relying on menu boards. Before the technical revolution we've witnessed in the last decade, menus were boring printed sheets with no visual representation of the items. But that meant customers were more likely to stick to familiar territory and order items that they'd already tried before, which meant less order values for the franchise. Of course, a change had to be made. In 2019, McDonald's invested $6 billion in digital signage across its drive-thrus. Of course, the reason behind such a huge investment wasn't just aesthetics. Digital menus meant more influence on your behavior, and that is done through two main tactics. The first one being the ability to give customers an overly perfected visualization of the item, to the point where the image on the menu couldn't be further from reality, making the product look more appealing than it actually is. And even though we all know this, our subconscious mind never fails to believe the trick. The other psychological trick used with digital menus is the same trick used by magicians, where you think you chose the card you wanted, but in reality, they influenced you into choosing the card they want you to pick. Somehow our brains are wired to choose the first option presented to us. In behavioral science, this is called the primacy effect. But what's the first option in a long digital board? Well, in this case, the first option is the one closer to customers, meaning items placed on our eye level. Besides the psychology tricks, digital menus allow fast food chains to customize the layout, messaging, and winning items on any given day. In the first year,
not just that, the color schemes used, the flicker rate of the LED, all of that shit, man.
There's cameras on those boards too, you know.
Yeah.
So they're actually you're using their service. They can actually take your info from your order and your image and do whatever they want with it.
That's crazy.
You're on their property.
Biometric readings and whatnot.
Thank you. Yep.
And then they want to pay.
Have you ever seen anything? Anybody ever been to McDonald's ever got anything that looked anything like that?
shit? Yeah, maybe 60 years ago.
No.
Yeah,
Not what it looks like now.
Because they want to pay these freaking kids $20 an hour for a $3 work ethic. It's
Huge difference in the
it's
Japan.
ridiculous how much some of these in the state of Illinois. It's like I'm trying to think $15 an hour minimum wage.
Yeah,
but most of them are making $20 an hour. You know, just
yeah.
to
There
compete.
you go.
In
They always have the most important election of our lifetime, foe. urgency. Yeah.
In the Japan, the food which is inside the package has to look exactly the same as on the package.
Where's this at?
Japan.
Yeah, those people don't fuck around, but they also sell used little girls' panties in vending.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well,
I heard something about like if you go to Switzerland, you look at if you go to Wendy's in Switzerland and like Wendy's in the United States, like the United States, if you look at the Wendy's ingredients for the potato, it's like 17 different ingredients, but if you go to Switzerland, it just says like potato and like seed oil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pommes frites.
So it's like it's actually just a French fry.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
shitty panties.
Everybody has seen the video of the woman who bought the hamburger and French fries and left them in the bag and put them in her closet for like 7 years.
For a year.
Yeah, 7 years, and the thing just sat there.
Yeah.
It didn't mold up or anything. Just stayed exactly the way it was.
Ate it. Ooh, no.
What makes
I
them
was talking about that earlier with my brother. I was talking about that exact thing earlier with my brother. About that girl who kept the McDonald's. How long she had it for?
She had it for like 4 years or something. Yeah, she had it for like 4 years. She put it in a bag and just put it away. And it didn't even mold up.
There's some like in the 90s.
It's because it's,
I'm sure I've seen them on TikTok videos where they've kept some from the 90s, and it just looks like it's a plastic burger. You know what I mean? Doesn't look real, like when you get it.
It like mummified almost. Mummified.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's been embalmed.
That's why you need to chew it for so long, because it's plastic.
It's silent green.
Very chewy. I never thought about how chewy it is. Yeah, if you buy that stuff. Man,
I haven't had
very
McDonald's
chewy.
in probably 15 years. It's probably easily been that long.
It's been a really long time for me as well.
I haven't had it.
Well, my dog Brandy.
McDonald's. I'm not cannibal.
My dog Brandy used to ride with me, and I remember one time we were on a trip, and I thought, well, damn it, I haven't had time to stop and feed her. I'll just go to a drive-through and I'll just get a plain hamburger for her at the McDonald's and give that to her. So I went through and I got her a hamburger and shit, and I kept rolled on the way. We finally got to our destination. I opened up the door to let her out, and I looked, and there lay that fucking hamburger, not a bite took out of it, laying right on the damn seat. She wouldn't eat it. And I'm like, well, I got to tell you something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
I really am.
It's the ultimate test.
Yeah. The dog's gone inside and thought, have I done something wrong?
That's even when
Why is he
a
biting
lot
up?
of them.
We got like
of the
one more
Mexicans-
minute in this video. We got one more minute in this video, and then
Let's do it.
let's finish it.
Year of implementing the digital boards, McDonald's had a 5% increase in revenue. That's not a small number at all. And if you thought this is a lot, the future of digital menus is even scarier. With the explosion of AI in recent years, digital menu screens are now more capable of influencing your behavior than ever. And that's through a technology called AI suggestive selling. In 2019, McDonald's bought a $300 million company specializing in this particular technology. That's the biggest McDonald's acquisition in the last 20 years. That in itself is quite telling of the potential of digital screens controlled by AI. Currently, this technology is being used to predict the best-selling items according to traffic, dates, and regional parameters. The items known to sell more on a particular day and location would be shown on the menu boards. But in the future, experts believe that this technology could be able to show a different menu for each customer, following their order history, preferences, and patterns, using a combination of facial recognition and license plate readers. And if that's the case, be prepared to invest in a ski mask and a removable license plate. Just kidding. Just keep these tactics in mind next time you pull up to a drive-thru. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
That's
You can see how far that's gonna go. It's gonna
It's
be like
genius.
that. Everything is gonna be that way.
Do you remember Minority Report when he was going to the
I
shop
ain't loving
and they
it.
were scanning him and telling his name, offering him to buy out specific things according to his previous history.
Yeah.
Because he got different eyes and so on.
Yep, and they can figure it out by taking a picture of your face. Since you're on their private property, they have the right to film you, and that means you're using their service. It's the terms of service. Bam, bam.
Yeah, do you know Walmart over there? It's called Asda, and it's massive. It's everywhere. And I only clocked the other day when I was going up the escalator. It's like a screen in front of you, and it shows you going up the escalator. And all of a sudden, you get a little green box on your head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what are you doing? And every time I go up there, I'm like that.
That's the right thing to do. Cover your face, don't get mental.
But they can do it, can't they? They can be in the building, so they can do what they want.
Oh, they'll just put the cameras at the top of it or outside the bathroom, or everywhere you go. I mean, it'll just be like China, That's all.
Well, I mean, it's already like that anyway. I mean,
watch this video. This is funny.
everywhere.
It'll lighten the mood up. Watch this one.
Hey, when you ready? Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, you guys have a lady back here. She got no teeth, asking for a Big Mac with no onions and a small milkshake in exchange for sex. Stop it. I'll let my manager know. Can I take your order? Let me get a Big Mac with no onions and a small milkshake. You're nasty. Hey, when you ready?
I've seen that before. That's funny.
Yeah, I saw that once.
I put one in the private chat. It's something about earlier on. When you go out for something and you get everything else but that thing.
Okay.
It's a guy who does exactly that on a program that used to be on over here years ago. Brilliant. But his wife gets so pissed off with him because he does it every time.
But what if you pull up
The link in
and
the private
Trumpster
chat.
to serve you?
I got it.
You get the Trumpster to serve your Big Mac to you.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Remember that dumb shit? What a man. I mean, that was a good troll. It was a good troll for
It was kind of funny, but yeah.
But in any reality, though, I mean, it was just like, come on, this guy's really got a PR.
They used to do the same thing when they would take them and put them at the soup kitchen or bring them to the local church. They do all that trickery. They try to, that's all.
Well, one of the things like Harry Truman did, though,
kissing babies.
He would escape his Secret Service and just go for a walk. And he'd stop in and get a haircut at the barber shop and talk to all the guys that are in the barber shop and see what their ideas were and kind of talk with them. He was kind of like, and it made security fucking furious, But yeah, he was a weirdo too, though. They're all weirdos, every last one of these fucking people. Let me see, Brian. I gotta find the share screen. There we go. And this is from Even Better Than That.
Hello, dear. How's it going?
Oh, getting there. Now, did you get the things we need for tonight? The tonic water, the wine, and the lemons?
Even better than that. I got a bread bin based on a 40-year-old design. A toilet roll holder with a picture of Margaret Thatcher on it. And some squid ink.
There you go. Exactly. I know.
Get the video about the KFC from the comedian. It's above, just one position above Demon. It's
What?
short.
I didn't hear you. What? No.
Video link, private chat. One
Okay.
position above Demon.
I got you. Hold on.
It's two up from the joke one.
I got it, man. I'm there.
I love that drive-through one when he does it. Delays what he's saying too because he knows the girl's busy.
You know that KFC is one letter away from being fucked. I came up with a brand new slogan, KFC, the only thing missing is you. Hi, I'll have a family fuck bucket, please. Did you know that KFC is
A family bucket. That's funny.
Okay.
But see that? Did you notice the subtle thing? Look at that logo of Colonel Sanders.
The Colonel.
Look how small his body is here compared to his head.
That's cute, ain't it?
But I like that. The thing is, what the subtle thing that they did to us with KFC is get you to believe that was still Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's not.
No.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken was bought out by a company called KFC.
Yeah.
And they bought the rights to the logo and all that bullshit too.
He only got a couple of $1 million from that. That's all he got.
Yeah.
And he said they're worth $100 million, and I only got 2.
Yeah.
I think he started that in like a gas station or something too. I think that was
he started in a gas station and
like a service station, and that was like truck stops. And
I live down the street from the Big Chicken in Marietta, which is supposed to be like the first established restaurant.
you know where I used to go all the time when I used to travel and go through Georgia? Flying J. Flying J had a $10 steak. They had a $10 steak that they would put on one of those panini grills, and they would give you a plate of French fries and a whole jug of coffee. Literally, put the pot in front of you for $10. It was the best ever. Every time we go through Georgia, I'd be like, "Nope, we're stopping at Flying J. I got $10."
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Now you just get a little cup of coffee and
they just throw the whole thing in the burner right in front of you.
A couple of potato wedges and like a couple of pieces of chicken.
So I want to get each one of you, this should be fun, to use at least 2 to 3 of these words in a sentence. We'll start with you, Dee. And you got bamboozled, discombobulated, cattywampus, malarkey, brouhaha, skedaddle, doohickey, persnickety, whatnot, gobsmacked, fibberty gibbet, tenterhooks. Is that what this is? Tenterhooks? I've never heard that one.
Tenterhooks.
Poppycock, whippersnapper, flabbergasted, shenanigans, lollygag, kerfluffle, nincompoop, pumpernickel, thingamajig, what's it, whatchamacallit, flummoxed, dingleberry, gobbledygook, canoodle, or codswallop.
All right, that I'm flabbergasted. That dingleberry bamboozled me.
Oh, there you go. You got to use 3 of them. That's bonus points right there.
Stupid whippersnappers.
How about you, Chad?
The other day I was let me see here. I gotta look at the list again. Sorry, I was looking at some. I was trying to figure out what flummoxed was.
Means you're like frustrated. Like
I was flabbergasted by what flummox was, and I was going down the road and I saw a couple of whippersnappers committing some shenanigans.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one. How about you, Janusz?
Yep.
This should be funny.
Are these words you even use in your country? I don't even think.
What's flummoxed though? Is that like you don't
like
know?
Frustrated, kind of like exasperated.
All right. And tenterhooks?
It sounds like what it could be. Flummoxed. Like
cattywampus means like when something is I learned a word it's crooked. I learned a word when I was in West Virginia called side-goggling. It's side-goggled. And I looked at the guy, I was like, what? What is side what? Like, that's side-goggling. It's side-goggle.
Like a side eye?
Yeah, like side-goggle. Like it's a little crooked. Like you put it up a little, it's a little side-goggling.
There you go. Look at here. Marcy Chan got one. A nincompoop started a brouhaha over a thingamajig. Bingo.
Yeah.
Fun.
Some shenanigans in whatchamacallit's channel the other day. I was gobsmacked to the point of being flabbergasted and bamboozled.
There you go, man.
Very nice.
Oh, man. I was bamboozled and flabbergasted by the shenanigans of those whippersnappers in their poppycock and whatnot. Bunch of damn nincompoops.
Sitting there lollygagging.
Yeah, lollygag. Lollygag. There was a retaining wall here in town years ago. It's still there. But these people that like didn't have a job and shit would just like sit on this wall and watch the cars go by all day. And eventually somebody put a sign on it, and literally the sign said, "No loafing."
No loafing, meaning
loafing.
meaning they don't want anybody hanging around. Don't loaf.
Right.
I think people get a real kick out of that video of Fight the Flat Earth and McToon canoodling when you play that at the beginning.
Oh, that
one? Yes, that is canoodling.
Let's see if we...
That's a Canadian kind of thing. That's a Canadian word.
Wait for me, wait for me.
Craig's in perfect mental health. You're all wrong.
And I think somebody's doohickey went up into his income up into his gobbledygook. Might have been his poppycock.
Oh, you mean his thing? You mean his thing? The thingamajig?
This is rather.
Probably came out and got some dingleberries on it.
Oh, yeah. Dingleberries. That's one that's not even on the list, is it?
Dingleberry. It's right there.
I used it.
This is
cod swallop. I never heard of. I've never
got
heard
some dingleberries on his doohickey.
Well, I've never heard of doohickey. What's doohickey?
Like it's a thing.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You okay? What? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Disturbing.
Doohickey's like a thingamajigger.
Whatchamacallit means like you can't remember the name, so you just say, "Oh, that whatchamacallit thing." But actually, in the United States, it's a candy bar called whatchamacallit.
Yeah. But that whole thing was like a shortened down whatever you may call it. You know, like I don't know the nomenclature, whatever. Then it came to whatchamacallit.
Pumpernickel is a bread.
Yes.
Skedaddle means like get the hell. Skedaddle means like get the hell out of here.
I think the word tallywhacker should be on there. Tallywhacker deserves a place on there.
Yeah.
Tallywhacker.
Tallywhacker.
Discombobulated means like you're all screwed up. Like you don't know what you're doing.
How about wedding tackle?
Wedding tackle?
I've never heard of that one.
Well, that's what some people call their tallywhacker, their wedding tackle.
Whatchamanuts.
Right. Kerfluffle is I have no clue. I've heard of it, but I don't know the explanation.
Oh yeah,
for it.
Dingleberry is on there. You know that's a small piece of dried shit that sticks to the hair on your
Yeah,
sticks to your doohickey.
Also synonymous. It's synonymous with Quimby. Quimby. Butt nugget. Quimby, butt nugget, Dingleberry.
Yeah.
We got it all in. I don't know what tenterhooks is. Tenterhooks. Let me see if I can find it.
Flummoxed is like you're confused.
What's codswallop?
I have no clue. I've never heard of that.
I think what's his name should be on there as well. What's his name?
What's it is like if you're explaining something the same way and you can't remember what it is, the what's it?
I was in a real kerfluffle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a situational word you would use in like if you were explaining a situation.
Malarkey, that's Biden's favorite word.
Okay, a tenterhook is a hook used to fasten cloth on a drying frame or tenter. So it's a clothespin.
Huh.
Okay.
What's a
now when I get on Facebook? Now when I get on Facebook, you'll get a post where someone will say, "Ruin a song by changing one word to," and it'll be such a word, and it'll be like fanny or asshole. Like some of the comments got people like was, "I would do anything for asshole, but I won't do that." You just change one word. And you've got to change it to that one word. Any song with it.
Okay, so it's British. It's
a movie title.
Codswallop is British, informal, and it means like nonsense. I think that's the right load of old codswallop. That's
probably from a certain place in Britain. You know what I mean? From one certain place too.
It says is defined as words or ideas that are foolish or untrue, nonsense. Oh, cool. So let's use that on Wesley next time. We'll say, you just spew a bunch of cod swallow.
There you go.
He's gonna
swallow.
Yeah, he's gonna confuse it with swallow, and that's gonna cause problems.
That'll get him excited.
Doohickey just means, you don't know what to call it, so you just say, oh, that doohickey. Grab that doohickey.
Get them all flabbergasted.
Thingamajig.
Yeah. I think we've got our own secret language then, and just get the fuck out of there.
Valley Park says it's funny how many of those words are in my vocabulary.
I know, same here. Same here. I'm saying the same thing. I was like, I use those words all the freaking time.
Hey, it's Malaki. You know who that is?
Biden.
Yeah, the no Malaki. Joes don't believe in Malaki.
Biden was absolutely. I mean, it must have been awful for you over there, but for me, Biden was hilarious. More or less every day, you come out with some absolute diamond shit. There was one time, I remember him, there was one time he said, America can be described in one word. That's a very big of them.
Did you guys see
He didn't say nothing. It was totally incoherent what he said.
Did you guys see this story? Look, $45 billion found in a Nigerian man's flat. He'd spent 10 years trying to get rid of it, but no one answered his emails. Hey, you thought it was a scam. You thought it was a scam. Now it's too late. You missed out.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm calling you about the available monies.
Yeah, we're calling from Microsoft.
Okay.
I got that call once. The guy said, "We're calling from Microsoft. We detected that your operating system has viruses." And I said, "Well, I said, oh, that's terrible. I don't have a computer."
Be like, I
just
detect
hung
your
up.
bullshit.
That was it. He just hung up, and I was like, "Well, it's going to be hard to do because I don't have a computer."
Try not to laugh. Try not to laugh at this.
Oh.
Hold on a second. I'll make it even better. I didn't have
eating the taco.
Here we go. One more time with that. Oops, I don't have it on there no more. Shit. Hang on.
Wow.
That's terrible. These are the things that you find on Facebook. These are the weird things. All these musicians dying, man. Here in the last
Hulk Hogan died.
Yeah,
See that one?
Yeah.
Here we've got the guitarist, I think, for Golden Earring, or was it the singer? The singer or the guitarist for Golden Earring died as well.
So did Theo Huxtable.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Ozzy,
Chuck Mangione.
Yeah,
Connie Francis.
Connie Francis.
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan. I can't believe the first thing that Ozzy Osbourne did as a ghost was murder Hulk Hogan.
How could he? He should have left Chuck. Feels so good.
Oh, what is this? Flat Earth punchlines. Hang on, let me see if I can get that. Oh shit, I gotta reload the page now.
Oh, the other thing too was the lead singer from REO Speedwagon got in a car wreck.
Oh,
that was the other thing too.
Really? From Illinois, I think.
What was that other one that just came up? It was a new one. Somebody that died. Fuck. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. It's like they're all just croaking out, man. Well, and then they say he was only 88. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah. It's not like he was young enough that you would be shocked. It's like, Jesus, the guy's, he's 76. So, it's like he's not exactly old enough that you would be shocked. But you would say, oh, well, he was 76, so you know.
Meanwhile, Keith Richards.
Yeah, Keith Richards is still
Keith
alive.
Richards, holy crap, dude, that guy.
Keith Richards is like John Rivers.
I saw this.
Keith Richards is like John Rivers, isn't it?
It was. I saw this thing. It was Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and there was Keith Richards, and they were looking up at God, and they said, "Who's that?" And he says, "Oh, that's Keith. He was here already."
He got blood transfusions, and I think that's what saved him from croaking 25 years ago.
Oh my God!
That guy, like I can't believe it.
Well,
I
a
even
few
seen
years
those
ago, he was already still really old, and it was a few years ago they said, "Oh, legendary guitarist Keith Richards
has a newborn.
He broke his arm." And then I read further how he broke his arm. He broke his arm. He fell out of a fucking coconut tree, and I was like, "What is a 70-something-year-old man doing up the goddamn
climbing? Yeah.
Come
Dude,
on,
what
man.
about him? Like he was like in his 70s when he had his like first baby.
It's like, how much cocaine were you on, bro? For real. I can't see myself. You know, I ain't 70 nothing, and I ain't gonna go climb up no damn coconut tree. That's ridiculous.
Tony Randall was having kids, and he was almost 80, and he was having kids.
See, that's bullshit. You ain't gonna be around for them kids, even hardly to see them graduate high school. You know?
I don't know, man. Maybe he will be.
Al Pacino, didn't he just have a kid?
Yeah.
Hey, Suv.
They've
Locke,
been around this long.
in the chat, Locke Smart put a comment in the chat and said the world moans as Bono was discovered alive at 65.
Yeah. U2 singer Bono found alive. It's fucking terrible. Here's some good flat earth punchlines for y'all. I'm going to take a bong here. Oh, you son of a bitch. I hate that. Why they got it muted when you don't want it muted. They unmute it when you don't want it to play. Stupid fucking social media.
So you're telling me water curves, but your beer spills flat on the table? Mate, your globe's drunk. You believe in gravity, but can't explain why birds ain't glued to the ground? Sounds scientific. So planes fly straight, but land on a curve? You high, or just graduated from Google? Space is real, huh? And why are all the stars the same since forever? Not even a new one? Budget cuts? Earth's a spinning ball, but somehow every horizon's flat? Even your lies are lazy. You trust scientists who can't even cure the common cold, but they measured the Earth from space? LMAO.
There you go.
We are being told by the White House that Epstein didn't have a client list, wasn't.
Oh, wait, don't start playing that.
This video captures a sunrise as we follow the sun's apparent path across.
There we go. Now I'm back to where I wanted to be.
The undead as alive isn't allowed now.
So here's some sage advice from our good friend Skeletor. Let's go ahead and let you read that. Knowledge is power.
Knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle. That's the one I was looking for.
No, that was G.I. Joe.
That was G.I. Joe. Hell yeah.
From us, wouldn't you say? I mean,
oh, here's a good one too, man.
If Earth were indeed a globe, I'd imagine we should be able to at least measure how much a building is tilting away from us, wouldn't you say? I mean, even if we couldn't see this supposed tilt with the naked eye, we should be able to measure it by measuring the distance between two buildings from top to bottom, right? And let's say these two buildings are 3,000 kilometers apart. That's 1,800 miles.
Pay attention, Wesley, if you're watching.
Factor in the curve.
We've
It's
been
going to
over
take the
this.
top, and
We've
it's going
been
to
over
angle
this
it out.
today.
Yep.
That was
No.
what that guy. Who was that guy you had on here? Was his name Matt or something?
Kevin John.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to explain this, and
Well,
then and
they did
McTain
it.
doxed him. I think.
There's a video where some guys did this. They did a test, and they measured in between two of the exact same buildings using using those things that they use to measure the ground so they can build roads and stuff. What do they call those things?
Theodolite?
No, the thing that goes onto the stand, like you see them on the side of the road. Survey equipment.
And it projects the picture upside down, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they tested from the bottom to the top.
It's just surveying equipment, isn't it, really?
They're like, no, there's no curve in any of this shit. They're identically, they're straight up and down. There's no tilt. The top isn't tilting back because if you put it on a ball, it would be tilted out. You would follow the curve. As you went down to the middle of the curve, they would be completely horizontal. If you put one on both sides, it'd be.
It would become more and more evident the taller the building became.
Exactly.
So if you see like a skyline of a city,
you would see it tilted.
Like 3 miles of it, right?
Yeah.
Then you draw lines up the center point of each one of those buildings, make plumb lines going up. You will see that they don't splay away from each other as they get higher, as they should. The further away it gets from the epicenter or the center of the radius, it's going to spread apart further and further and further as it gets further away.
It should.
So the tall buildings would be the big indication.
Yeah, you would see it would be way more obvious. When you were like, why are they angling?
Especially if you was out on a cruise or something, you was going that slow and it's that flat.
Yeah.
So no one's ever took a picture of like a building appearing upright like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eventually,
it doesn't happen.
Nobody's ever documented that or took a picture of that or videoed that. Doesn't exist.
No,
but you have to check anyway, just in case we're mental and they're not.
I tried to show Wesley today on there. I was like, look, here's a plumb line on the equator. And I drew a horizontal line from the circle. And I said, look, here's a level line at the North Pole. And so I made a line that's level. I said, now, plumb and level are perpendicular to one another, yet in this instant, plumb and level seem to be parallel. How do you reconcile that? So then that's where they start having to get into this idea that level is a tangent point. So that means that only at that point is it level.
Yes.
Any deviation away from that, you have to adjust.
Curling down. It's tilting down away from you in every direction.
Every direction.
So, every direction. So I did it one day.
That's Wesley.
I did it one day with a kid's ball. And I took my cigarette butt. I was talking to the kid, and I said, okay, I'm here. And I took the cigarette butt and put it at the top. I said, is that level? Is that straight up and down? He said, yeah. I said, okay. So I took the cigarette butt and turned it on like a 45-degree angle and said, all right, is that level? Is that straight up and down? And he said, no. I said, well, how the fuck do you go from here to here on a plane? I said, have you ever gone anywhere on a plane? He was like, yeah. I said, did you notice the plane was tilting down continuously? Did you notice that you were tilting forward as you were going over it? No. I said, all right, because you weren't going over curve. If you did, your top of your body would be leaning forward. Your head would be pushing, your feet would be going back, and you'd be leaning forward like you went off the top of a roller coaster.
Have to go a mile every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I said, it doesn't happen. I said, so you're telling me the building is built here and people on the equator are standing sideways to us? Really? And he just looked at me and said, well, you know what I mean. I said, no, I don't know what you mean. Come on, elaborate. And it made him, he started to get angry at some point.
Yeah,
because he couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
He was told that, and then because he learned that from the educator, he was told that he was smart. You just took his smart away. See, and showed him that he was fooled. So you punched the pride in two different places, man.
Bingo.
That's what happens.
His buddy just sat there and was nice and quiet. And I was like, yep, smart move, kid.
Be a sport and tell me how many degrees over a distance of 1,800 miles. Then post some evidence showing me that structures do indeed tilt the further you get away from them.
Measurements were done of the bases and tops of two buildings, one in Torres, Rio Grande do Sul, and another in Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, 3,050 kilometers apart from each other. According to the theory of the spherical Earth, the distance of the measurements of the bases must be different than the measurements of the top, even in a few meters. But if the measurements are equal, this would show that the Earth has no curvature. Remembering the opinion of the INCRA engineers before the experiment,
probably there will be in relation to the extension of this line, perpendicular to the baseline. I believe it will be longer.
Thinking of the Earth as a globe, the initial expectation was that the measurements were different.
But when the results arrived, the base and the top measurements were the same, showing that the two buildings are leveled upright. And here the opening angle, where we read the point here, the base of the building and its height. As we do this calculation here, on this plane, we will always find this distance here. On this plane, we will always find this distance here.
the identical measurements of the distance between the bases and the tops prove that between the two buildings there is no curvature, proving that the Earth has no spherical shape.
Yep, totally true. So look at that last JPEG that I just threw on the private chat. That has something to do with that little. It's just a JPEG, but it totally goes along with what we were just doing 100%.
Yeah, once you bring up that antipodal thing and get them to reconcile that, that starts giving them the cog disc. Oh, it's the wrong one.
It's the very last one.
I got it.
There you go, Wesley.
What in the hell? And they all base that off of some stupid shit about believing mass attracts mass. That something has an energy to create a force merely by volition of its existence. What the fuck?
Oh, they think that you're moving and you don't feel the curve. That's what they think. They think that by you moving forward, you're moving in such small increments that you don't feel yourself tilting forward as you're walking over it from the top to bottom, or sailing over it, or driving over it, or flying over it. They don't have any reasoning in their head to realize that if that was the case and you were flying from the top to the bottom, they think that you're going up and you're going straight and you're curving as you're going straight. That doesn't happen. How do you tilt down and never adjust your angle? You can't.
You can't do it. Poops.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much in your head to grab an apple or a ball or something and say, oh, well, if I move this little, and I take a little Matchbox car and I move it from the top to the bottom, what's the car doing? I mean, common sense. Common sense. People in Australia are not upside down to me right now. If that's the case,
that's why I want to see that shot of someone zooming in real time and showing something happening in such a hemisphere, and then in real time showing us it upside down. Show us that and we'll shut up.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to travel there if you were going in a straight line from, let's say, where I am, and you were going to fly to Australia. You wouldn't be able to get there if you didn't nose it down.
That's right.
That's what they think.
To think that you do a 180 while you're flying to Australia is absurd, isn't it? It's just absurd.
And you don't feel it either.
You don't feel it.
Yeah, and you don't feel it. There's no feeling. You got to be out of your mind.
Gravity.
No, you would be tilting forward and down. By the time you went past the equator, the plane would start to actually be upside down. Your head would be below, your feet would be above where your head from where you started.
I remember Craig, Fight the Flat Shirt. I remember him trying to explain that if you dig all the way down, you'll do a 180 at some point, but you won't know about it and come out digging up at the other side.
Well,
what's going on?
We used to joke around and say, well, if you dig that hole any deeper, you'll hit China. You know, it was like a joke. Like, oh
But
yeah,
when
I'm
you
taking
come
to
out
China.
first or ass
That was a
first.
big joke. It was a big joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Globers eat that fast food, and this is what that shit will do to you. Look at it.
That actually looks like Craig.
In a bit, it does it?
I don't think he can run that good.
That link what I sent in the private chat, so it's you know that Nigerian guy who left that so many millions that didn't get.
Yeah.
That's the guy who his money. It's him. He's called George Agbudu-Bagwende.
The guy with the money under his bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
the fellow.
Nigerian.
Here he is. He's called George.
Hello?
Good afternoon, madam. I am calling to let you know that you have been selected from our database to receive a cash prize.
Yeah?
All I require from you is your bank account details and sort code, and we can wire you the monies directly.
I see. Yeah, how much is it?
The computer says you have been rewarded £82.57.
Yeah?
Yes.
Can you just post it to me then?
Unfortunately, we are not allowed to post cash or check because it is a security breach.
Yeah, I see. It's okay. I'll leave it then.
But what are we supposed to do with the monies?
You can keep it.
But I am not authorized to do so. I wish I could, sir. I really do.
Okay, so where did you get this number from?
Where would you like us to wire the monies?
Where did you get this number from?
From the government.
What competition is being run to win that money?
Basically, these are the monies, the 1p's and 2p's that people forget about.
1p's and 2p's that people forget about?
Out of the millions of 1p's and 2p's,
Yeah.
monies becomes accumulated into a pot.
What's your name?
I require your bank account details.
Yeah, what is your name?
My name is George.
George what?
You could not pronounce the surname.
Okay, can you say it?
I can.
But please.
Akutukwengo.
Can you say it again?
Akutukwengo.
Okay, fine. Okay, George. I'll take a rain check on that, but you can post it to me if you want.
I'm afraid we are not authorized to do so.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
That is the way they do that shit, man.
It's like a cutout that they just move the thing. I like that. It's cool.
There's a guy, a couple channels that do that on YouTube. I don't know if they're still around or not, but they would get these from these Indian call centers, these scams.
Oh,
right?
I know what you're talking about.
And he'd play like he's an old lady and all this.
Uses voice changes and stuff.
Meanwhile, he's slipping in the back door of their system and shit and wiping out their entire fucking system.
Yeah, the 409 scam caller guy.
Yeah, scammer payback. I think.
Yeah.
Scammer payback. That's him. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy found he was looking through their cameras and everything and telling them what they look like and everything. That was great. And they shut the whole system down. I guess he reported a bunch of them and got a bunch of them removed.
There's an Irish fellow as well who does it. Forget his name, the Irish fellow. He does it as well. He goes into the SCTV and all that, and the reactions are priceless.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, why do they need people like that? Why isn't the government? Well, I think.
Well, because they're making money from it.
Right.
That's why.
But yeah, it's just like, isn't the government supposed to protect us from scams like that? But yeah, it's.
I think a lot of that stuff
so
is
ridiculous.
connected to it in some way because they make money off it, so they don't care. They don't.
Yeah, they turn a blind eye to everything if there's a bit of dough in it for them, won't they? Especially because they've got nothing as it is.
My friend went to Thailand and he said he was never had more people walk up to him and want to sell him things or go up to him like prostitutes. He said, I walked around the block, I walked outside and lit a cigarette and had 5 people walk up to me in about 2 minutes. want to sell me massages, want to give me BJs, want to this and that, to go to my bar. I mean, people handed him flyers. He said it was almost horrid. He said, because I walked around the block and it was endless. He said people followed me around the block trying to sell him fans and clothes, and kids walking up to him with, like, with their arms taped behind their back, and they pretend they have like they're missing an arm and they're barefoot. He's like, you wouldn't believe the crap.
Before you know it, you want it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Phuket, Thailand.
Yeah, he was like, he said it was almost uncomfortable. I couldn't go anywhere and do anything because I had people walking up to me constantly. He said I went to the beach. I had people walking up to me on the beach.
He didn't realize that it was the same person.
Oh, he said it was just endless. He said I walked to the mall. I had people talking to me on the bus.
That's what Paris has turned into. Just a big playground for scammers. Right under the Eiffel Tower, where it's supposed to be like, where you're supposed to make your memories, and you're getting bombarded with all these games and all that. What they scam you with the cups and whatnot.
Brian, do you know who Jeff Carter is?
Is it him who does his traveling videos?
Yeah, Jeff Carter. yeah. I watch his videos a lot.
I'm sure he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The guy with the glasses.
Yeah, Jeff Carter, the old
I
bald guy.
watched the video of it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He don't give a shit.
What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, I'm
But they did it, didn't they?
When it comes to these different types of scammers, I have a little bit of knowledge in regards to how to do this kind of stuff, but I'm not an expert. But when it comes to these different types of YouTube channels, Kit Boga is a very big one, and also Scammer Payback, and Jim Browning, and there's one I'm forgetting, but they're all very, very
the Irish fellow, that's right, Jim Browning. That's the Irish fellow. That's him.
No, he's English.
No, he's Irish.
Really? Oh, okay.
yeah, he's Irish. Trust me, he's Irish. I'm half Irish myself, so. But Kit Boga, he's hilarious. Kit Boga is hilarious.
Hey, Brian, that's what's wrong with you.
Go on, mate.
You're half Irish.
I'm
hold on here.
What's the other half?
I'm half a chubby shot of a picnic.
If you're half Irish,
really
what's the other half?
What's really
a Mancunian, Salford.
South English.
I'm not English, but Mancunian. There's a difference.
All right, go ahead, Andrew. What was you saying?
Yeah, I'm not going to be long. Don't worry. I have to start doing work. But anyways, yeah, when it comes to these people that are actually harassing us, and then people harass them back, the people that are best at it are showing you how to do it. They'll actually show you how to download the apps and the software and all that kind of stuff, and install a VPN, go onto a virtual network, and they show you how to do it all safely. Yeah. And then from there, you just fuck with them for as long as you want to.
Yeah.
And those people are making a lot of money fucking with the scammer. They're making more money than the scammers are.
Yep. Sure.
And I think that's totally admirable. So I think that when people are like so low down on their, like, oh, I can't make any money, there's no work. It's like, oh, so your work is to scam people? Oh, so you're a criminal. Good luck, gangster. Fuck off.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like they've got any models, or there's not like they've got any models, or don't scam old ladies. They'll do anyone.
Oh, they don't care if you're alive. They'll scam you.
Shit, man. Don't give a shit.
These are people that don't mind living in shit. Okay, so
yeah,
a lot of those scammers too will contract with people in the United States, and they'll help them to pull off the scams and stuff like that too. Yeah, for a fraction of what they make. But that's how desperate some of them are.
Well, there's a lot of videos also. The majority of the call scammers that have been arrested were in India, and not as far as I know, not so many in like Nigeria and Somalia and things like that. But India, like, I wouldn't want to get arrested in India.
No.
Like, well, I don't want to get arrested at all. But
I don't want to be in India at all.
No.
Yeah.
my friend went there. This was years and years and years ago. He's retired now. A guy I worked with, and he went there and he ate food at the airport and got food poisoning. So he wasn't even in the country for 6 hours, and he got food poisoning.
No,
he said,
that's
"F
just
this
the way it
place."
makes you feel when you eat Indian food. He didn't know that.
No, he ate
Well,
food
Indian
like
food is
regular
delicious,
food.
but
I'm joking. Indian food's
it's
pretty
not
good,
necessarily
actually.
the food. It's about the water.
The prep.
Because when I was in the military, and Dave, I'm pretty sure you've probably been told the same thing, is that when you go overseas, they have different types of water purification types of aspects that are associated with different countries. And a lot of people, they start getting adapted to those things, like here in the U.S. or
they get used
like
to it.
West Coast to East Coast is even different. Yep. But then you go to like Puerto Rico, or you go to Guam, or you go to fucking Germany. It doesn't really matter. Like all of a sudden, the military tells us, like, oh yeah, you cannot drink the tap water. They would just give us this obviously terrible tap water, but at least it was not the same thing as what was coming out of the tap.
Andrew, I was told that it was a lot of times if it was ice, that they would use different water for ice, and or how they would transport the ice would be different too, because sometimes they just drag it down the street.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fucking terrible.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, yeah. He told me, he's like, man, I said I wasn't even. He said I stayed at the airport. They had a like hotel thing in the airport. I stayed at the airport and I got sick. And I was like, what was it like? He said, oh my God. He said it was animals taking shits right next to the water that people were bathing in while they were scooping water out. And I was just like, oh my God, no friggin' way. He said, yeah. He said, I stayed there as long as I had to and then got the hell out of there. I don't believe I said, you didn't eat anything. He said, everything I ate was fast food. He said, because I knew it would be, it'd kill anything. So he's like, any drink he got, he said he never got ice. That was one guy told him, don't get anything with ice.
I watched a video on, I think it was Facebook, them shorts what they have on Facebook, where you can just scroll through them like it's like TikTok. I was watching one of them and this guy was bathing in the river, and 50 yards up the road was a sewage tank.
Dumping into the water.
Emptying into the river.
Yeah. Oh, they cover themselves. They take shit and purposely put it all over them.
Andrew's been trying to say something now for a little bit. Am I
Go ahead,
correct?
Andrew.
It's all good. The thing that I really despise is how I get a whole bunch of spam calls all the time. And one of the ways you can reduce that is to just, put on some music that they're not going to like and just play it kind of loud. And they just call them back over and over and over and over. And then eventually they'll just block your number. And I'll do that with a lot of them. And all of a sudden I get less spam calls. But I have to go and shut off the power to this house. So I'll be listening in the background. But thank you very much, Dave, for having me on.
Right
again.
on, Andrew.
But cheers,
Don't
everyone.
shock yourself.
Have a great night.
Be safe working on that shit, man.
I've been 24 years as an electrician. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but see, you've been going a while today too, so don't forget to take that into account. Just be mindful,
Oh yeah.
All right, bro. Have a good night, man. So have you guys seen where South Park is, I guess, gone balls deep into this whole Epstein thing and the Trump? Somebody said they're going to get canceled next. I've got a little clip from.
Well, I had a feeling that was why they weren't letting them back on for a minute. But
yeah, put like the real face on like a cartoon body and shit and move it around like that. I don't know why. It just cracks me up. I didn't know Donald Trump was a Canadian. This is how South Park depicts Canadians: is that the top half of their head separate from their jaw. Oh my God! I know they're not going. It was bad enough as he passed all those paintings of himself right on the wall that were showing him like doing shit with animals and stuff, and now they're getting him in bed with Satan. Come on, man!
It's kind of
who's Satan's boyfriend? Who's Satan's
Saddam
boyfriend?
Hussein or something like that.
Saddam Hussein. That's right. Good God. Sorry, I got to stop this every so often for commentary, and just so I don't get a bunch of shit. I'll probably get shit anyways, but who cares? So I guess Trump's not real happy about that, from what I hear, and he's trying to get this fucking canceled and kept from being aired. South Park don't give a. I mean, that's just it. South Park don't give a shit at all. That's what I think is. That's probably why I like them.
Yeah, you need that.
The last time they took a lot of crap was from the Mormons when they did that Mormon episode.
Oh yeah, that's a great.
Man.
That is a really
30 short proofs that the Earth is.
That is a fantastic.
They had to come out with all kinds of statements and retract. They had to put all kinds of crap out.
And that little song. Little song. And so he read the golden tablets. Dum 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 dum. Joseph Smith was a man. Dum 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 dum, and everything is like that. He was dumb.
I drove right past the Joseph Smith house up in Vermont.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know, we used to bring vans up to the kids' camps. There's like kids' sports summer camps up by where that house is. They have signs on the side of the road that tell you come visit the house of Joseph Smith.
Oh, that's always fun. Why would we do that?
Yeah,
the antiquity of it. I was kind of excited on our local Facebook page, for Page County and the towns around here. I might have mentioned it before that there's a blockhouse fort/house down on the Shenandoah River in Luray, and it's called the White House, and it's right by of course, the bridge right there is called the White House Bridge, and it was the site of an Indian massacre. The Indians massacred everybody except this little girl who was in a tree, and she saved an infant and wandered for hours and hours and was found up in one of the hollows by some people. And this was back before the revolution. The house was built in 1760. Anyways, I've only seen the outside of it ever. And somebody was given a tour to see inside of it, and it's getting ready to be renovated. But it was kind of cool to see the inside of this place that is relatively the same. The only thing I see that's different is where they've blocked off a fireplace and made a hole for a stovepipe, because the last residents in the house were like in the 1920s.
Yeah. Is it like one of those gob houses where they took the logs and put them down and put the stuff in the middle of them?
Yeah, and then stuccoed the outside of it.
Yeah.
Then stuccoed the outside of it. It's, the wood floors, half of them are rotted and there's just dirt, there now. But they're getting ready to renovate the place. I'm kind of excited to see that. That's going to be really neat, because that whole story of that little girl, that's amazing, because she escaped that with this little baby, and she was only like about 9 years old, and she wandered up a river until she reached, I think it was Kite Hollow, and that's quite a distance from that house. And she was discovered by some people living there and taken in. And then she reported what had happened. And of course, the army came in. And kind of some interesting local history. Anyways, I don't know why I told you all about that. Kind of dry. Anyways, here's some good flat Earth shit.
Filler.
You guys want to see some good old fashioned flat Earth shit?
Always.
30 short proofs that the Earth is flat. Follow if you're curious why people believe in it. Look at how sun rays break through the clouds. See the angles? They spread out in different directions. That suggests the sun is not as far from the clouds as we're told. If the sun were 93 million miles away, the rays would appear parallel. Airplanes always fly straight. On a globe, they'd have to constantly tilt downward, otherwise they'd drift into space. Water always levels itself. If we were on a sphere, oceans would be in constant chaos, but they're calm. There's a huge difference in temperature between the equator and the poles. On a flat Earth, the sun circles above the equator, which would explain the heat. If the sun were really that far away, the temperature difference wouldn't be so extreme. The temperatures on other planets also seem strange. For example, Mercury is colder than Venus, even though it's closer to the sun. The horizon looks flat at any altitude, no fisheye lens. You can see this from high-altitude balloons. Ships can see lighthouses from very far away. On a curved Earth, this shouldn't be possible. Some flight paths don't make sense on a globe, but they look much more logical on a flat Earth map, like Sydney to Johannesburg. Especially when crossing the Pacific, wouldn't it be easier to fly straight across? And look at how flights avoid Antarctica. Strange, right? It looks like they're hiding something, but these routes make sense on a flat map. We see full moons in the day, even when Earth is supposedly between the sun and moon. That's not how shadows work. Why is the sun so bright during the day? If other stars were even brighter and bigger, shouldn't the night sky be just as bright? They say the planet spins at 1,000 miles per hour, plus the sun moves, plus the galaxies spin. That adds up to insane speeds. Yet we feel nothing. Wouldn't there be chaos? Planes shouldn't fly the way they do. They'd either reach too fast or miss their destinations. Weather doesn't seem affected by gravity. If Earth spun that fast, weather would be completely unstable. Bullets shot straight up land only a few hundred meters away. With rotation, they should land far off, even kilometers away. With that kind of spinning, water should fly off into space. Just watch how water behaves on a spinning tennis ball. Imagine we're in a vacuum, like they say. Look what vacuum does to sealed tanks. If Earth were in space, wouldn't it collapse too? Lasers shot over long distances stay level, they don't curve. Terrain may affect the result, but not Earth's curvature. Star positions haven't changed in hundreds of years. There's no visible parallax. Constellations stay the same. At the North Pole, Polaris always stays in the same place, and stars rotate around it. Strange if the universe is expanding. NASA talks about planets in other galaxies, but we don't see a single space station in real footage. When building long railways, even over 13,000 kilometers, they don't account for any curvature. If Earth were a globe, canals would curve and water would flow off somewhere. But canals like the Suez look flat and motionless. Gravity? Have you ever seen actual, direct proof of it? Ask AI sometimes, it even gives flat Earth info. Try it yourself. Many proofs for the globe are questionable, like in Antarctica, where shadows shift in seconds. Edited images of the globe. Pause and look, something feels off. CGI is used in every globe Earth video. Radio signals often reach far beyond the horizon past where they should be blocked by curvature. Time zones don't align well with a rotating globe. Neighboring regions with the same sun position often have very different local times, which fits better with a man-made system for a flat map. And finally, more and more people believe the Earth is flat. Why do you think that is? Because it's nonsense? Or because it's the only idea that makes sense? Look closer. The truth reveals itself. Explore interactive maps, tools, and a 3D flat Earth in the Flativerse mobile app. Link in bio.
Flativerse.
That's like one night I was on somebody else's panel and a Glober was up there. I won't name that person. I don't want to give him any attention, but we all know who it is. But I asked him, I was like, how do you get spark in a vacuum? He's like, real good engineering. And Vlad was on there too. He's like, you know who else says that? Don Pettit.
Yeah, man.
Real good engineering. That's how you get it, huh?
Yeah.
I love the Don Pettit one where they ask him, well,
This is
does this hatch have O-rings in it? And he's like, oh, yeah. He said, well, if you lose pressure, how do you exit that? Is that where that's from? Yeah, really good engineering. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got another Don Pettit here.
And another thing, too, is silicon and rubber will dry out and crumble in a vacuum.
Yep. Or it'll expand or it'll shrink down.
Over the time, the moisture in it, it escapes.
Yep.
And it becomes dust. It breaks apart. It no longer has its ability to seal anymore.
That's why usually you buy those in packs because you need to replace them so much. Yep. It's like, how are you going to replace one of those up in space, buddy? Okay.
Yeah. Right. They get compressed after a while, too, when they're in the same form and they get compressed and start to shrink.
Yeah.
The same thing, I think, is what happened with that sub that went down to the Titanic there, is that they made it out of a material that was very porous. So as they wound that carbon fiber, it's very stiff. But the problem is that they put those end caps on it and they use seals. And as that pressure increases, it starts to compress it. It loses pressure. It just pops at the seals, They should have just made the whole thing out of that shit. You know, made it so it had but I mean, how would you even put a camera down that low without it being specially built because of the pressure that you get that deep under the sea? The same thing would happen. It would.
Well, it's more the displacement ratio that's causing that.
Yeah, because of the medium.
Pressure like that. So a camera, as long as it wasn't had like air in it and shit like that was going to compress and smash the camera. And I guess if it had a little bit of rigidity to it, it'd be a lot easier. Than this is why they do that. They don't have really anybody going down in these deep sea submarines. They're drones. They're like robotic, and they send them down with a camera on them, and then the guy's up in another sub or up on a ship actually even, and controlling where it's going and just working it that way. They're not really got actual eyes on other than through the camera, because man, the pressure down at those depths is phenomenal, man.
It's squeezing it.
Yeah,
it's like you see it, the hard time that they have getting down to those depths, and you're going to tell me the space is however many more miles up that you don't have a hard time getting up there, and you do it without a hitch all the time.
Yeah. It speeds faster than a bullet.
Yeah.
Hitting another object that's going faster than a bullet with precision.
Yeah, and no gravity, with things floating all over the place, moving at different speeds, and nothing ever happens. Nothing ever hits those solar panels. And
an F-18 fighter jet, I think it's capable of Mach 2 or 3, somewhere up in there. I mean, those things, they got them now to where they're souped up. They can go really fast. Anyway, it's capable of aerial refueling, right? It still has to slow down. It has to slow down to be able to fit the nozzle into the fuel port on the nose of the aircraft that comes down from the air tanker. They have to slow down. They can't do it at those Mach speeds. They can't do it at those other speeds. These fucking rockets and the space station and all that shit, they're traveling faster than any bullet fired on Earth.
Yep.
Sure. And you expect me to believe that you got one object traveling faster than a bullet, and you're going to shoot up another object that's going faster than a bullet, and you're just going to seamlessly, real slow motion, like fucking dock up to each other? Get out of here with that dumb shit, man.
Yeah.
It's insane. Who can believe that, man? Well, I did it one time. I just took it on faith. When you have to really look at it, I took it on faith. It's like, is that really feasible? That's like the fucking chopstick thing catching the rocket. How dumb is that?
Show an example of you doing it down here on Earth, let alone up there. I want to see you do that. Like, just show me an example of you doing it down here on Earth before you even tell me you can do it up there. Or I say up there like it's a real thing, but yeah.
Right. Out there,
whatever the hell you want to do. Is there anybody?
Well, this is another one too. The people it's this is the one that cracked me up. We had Brenda on that panel there today.
That's unfortunate.
And he's talking about that they checked the distance to the sun with radar. I was like, they did, huh? How'd they do that? Because it was on how did you get to the distance to the sun? And she said, well, the transit of Venus. And I said, well, how would you know what the transit of Venus is, how far away that is, without a point of reference? He goes, they measured it with radar. I says, they measured it with radar. When was this done and who did it? Well, I don't know, but I'm sure they can measure it with their. I says, okay, you say they can. You didn't say that. You said that they did. See, they want to grab onto these little fantastical ideas that they have in their head. They never take into consideration that you're on an object, supposedly, going 67,000 miles an hour, orbiting the sun, while simultaneously rotating at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, notice that those are per hour. Those are time differentials, right? That's how we gauge a speed. So we launch a radar beam which travels at the speed of light. And according to what they say the speed of light is, it would take 8.5 minutes approximately for that radar to reach the sun. Another 8.5 minutes to come back. Now, keep in mind, this thing is attenuating the whole distance.
Yeah, it's getting wider and wider and wider as it goes.
Thinner and thinner, wider and wider and wider as it goes, becoming to a point where it is negligible because it's so spread apart so far. Hits its target and bounces back and attenuates even more over this 18-minute travel of the radar. Meanwhile, the Earth is now about 18,000 miles from the position it was in, going around the sun, when it shot the radar beam. Not to mention that it's been rotating at 1,000 miles an hour, which puts you nowhere near where the signal would come back at the epicenter. If anything could come back. Because as I said, attenuation and a signal like that is reliant upon the input of power. There again, you need energy for things, man. Any energy. You need that. I don't know why they think that they can have something called gravity that they don't know where the hell it gets its energy to create a force from. They just claim that it does. And it's like, wait a second, man. Isn't your guy Newton the one that said you can't create or destroy energy, that it can only be transferred or transformed? Yes. Okay, well then reconcile this problem. And why does it never run out? There has to be, how can there be a never-ending supply of an energy source?
Yeah. So they're always talking in hypotheticals. That's why you can do that all day till you're blue in the face. That's why I think it's funny when you say, well, prove that I can't turn into a werewolf. And they're like, well, you know, like,
yeah.
Okay.
They want you to prove a negative. They always want you to prove a negative.
Right.
So if we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and it shoots that thing off and we're spinning at 1,000, it's moving at 1,000 miles an hour and you're waiting 18 minutes, excuse me, I fucked that up. I did hours. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out the ratio and how much it would actually, the distance would change. Hold on.
Well, real quick, guys, I'm going to head out. I got to get up early. I'm traveling in.
Yeah, we're not going to go much longer here anyway.
It would move 300 miles from where you started at the point. So 1,000 miles an hour. It's 300 miles after it's fired off. It's moving 300 miles by the time that shit's moving. So
I'll catch you guys next time. Who's good hanging out with you?
All right, Chad, thanks for being here, man.
Good to see you.
Yep. And chat, good hanging with you later on.
Yeah, bro. So we here's the thing on radar. You'll like this. Make sure it's not muted. Okay, we're good.
Best flat earth proof nobody's talking about. If the earth is a globe, then why do weather radars scan in flat 2D circles? Not domes, not spheres, flat, like a pancake, not just in one country. Every single Doppler radar system on Earth scans on a flat plane, and they'll tell you that's just how it works. But have you ever stopped to ask why? Let me break this down like you're 5. Meteorologists track storms using radars that sweep around in circles, like spinning a laser on a table. That table is flat. If the Earth were curved, wouldn't radar beams have to tilt downward to match that curve? But they don't. Radars spin horizontally, not at an arc, not around a ball. And here's where it gets wild. If you pull up radar maps online, storms disappear past 250 miles. Not because they're gone, because the radar can't see them. The signal goes straight. The Earth doesn't curve. And instead of fixing this contradiction, they just blame line of sight limitations. What does that even mean on a curved planet? Now, everything makes sense if Earth is flat. Radars spin on a flat plane because they don't need to curve. The signal travels straight because the ground beneath it is straight. There's no curve to compensate for. That 250-mile cutoff, it's just the natural limit of how far the beam can go in a straight line. Across a flat surface, no bending, no tilting, no imaginary drop of 8 inches per mile squared, just flat. Ask yourself, if planes use radar and ships use radar and all of them scan horizontally, why has nobody ever created a radar system that scans the supposed curve? Where's the dome radar that wraps around the Earth's ball? You won't find it. Because every piece of equipment in real life assumes a flat ground, not a curved one. Why do airport runways, radar scans, railroads, pipelines, and even military missile tracking systems never account for curvature? Because when it's life or death, they drop the globe lie and stick with what works. Flat calculations, straight line geometry. If Earth really had a curve, real-world technology would be built to deal with it, but it's not, because it's flat. And all their fancy math equations crumble under something as simple as a radar sweep. Now ask yourself, if we've been lied to about something this simple, what else have they hidden in plain sight? What other science is built on imagination instead of observation? You trusted the globe because they told you everyone agrees, but you never looked for yourself. So next time you check the weather, remember that radar isn't spinning around a ball, it's sweeping across a flat Earth, and deep down, you already know it. Now go prove it, look it up. Ask the questions, and don't stop until the whole world sees what's right beneath their feet. Flat and undeniable. This video is for entertainment purposes.
Hey guys, I need to go. It's freaking 6:20. I'm falling asleep.
Yep, I got to get off here myself.
Right.
Been
Good to see
late.
you guys.
So, see
Yeah,
you,
man.
everyone. Have a good one.
Yep, I want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight. Brian, good to see you again. And of course, D-Man, it was good having Chad up here and Janusz. Love having everybody here. And we had a really good show, I think. So until the next time, don't forget, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because he'll probably kill you. And if you heard the shot, it probably wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time. Good night.